right, let's get into it, folks. Communications with the Wii Remote have been interrupted. Roll credits. Yeah, we got some chats while we were on break there. Everyone is just bog posting right now. We're back to bog posting, folks. We got them talking. I feel like now we have to do some bog related merch after the stream ends. I feel like that's gonna be our thing now. Locke says, let's get this straight. If you ain't from the bog, you don't know nothing about the bog. Facts. Straight facts. Lilith, disciple of Samus, says the pirate homeworld has to be one of my favorite areas in the series. Just the whole vibe you get when you're exploring is something else. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think I would actually rank this maybe in my top 5 Metroid areas. I love the pirate homeworld so much, and I love all the little sequences and activities you do on it. Whether it's the intro leading up to Gandreda, whether it's you know, the Nova Beam kind of trek, and that little boss fight. I don't even know what you'd call it, like the Nova Beam carving mining tool or whatever it is. Like I always get a kick of watching the space pirates holding on for dear life, and then you shoot their hands, and then you actually use them to clog up the machine. Like it's such a goofy. Like we were talking about ragdoll earlier. That is some good ragdoll right there during that fight. Absolutely love that. And then of course the you know, you got the Galactic Federation invasion sequence. You know, you protect the bomb troopers, which, you know, hey, doesn't make any sense that you'd put your heavy armor and bomb troopers and give them weaker armor, but hey, you know what? It's a game, don't think too much about it. And then of course you finish it off with the Omega Ridley fight, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I am a big enjoyer of the pirate homeworld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, acid rain, claustrophobic tunnels. I understand why the pirates are all so angry. Yeah, that makes sense.
You were talking about, reminded of going through pirate homeworld, as well as like the second half of Elysia somewhat. It feels like you're just kind of moving forward as like a rat in a maze somewhat, where just like some of this is kind of confusing. But I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere.
Yeah, I just always love that, you know, that espionage aspect of Metroid, where you're breaking into a facility and you know where all the enemies are and they have no idea you're right next to them. There's something about that I just always love, particularly within the Metroid Prime games, because I think they do it the best out of all of them.
These two doors are apparently always off. There were pirates up here before, but they're gone now. Samus spends like an hour running this place before they realize, oh no, she's here!
Yeah. Zach says, leaving Torvis got me feeling bogged down. Oh, we should ban you for that pun, honestly. That is egregious.
For whatever reason, the crawl tanks here on the pirate homeworld tend to go into hyper mode all the time, and they've never done that before up until this point.
Yeah. You'd think a crawl tank spotting you would set off the alarm too. They don't.
Yeah. No Wi-Fi installed. The defense budget's been cut. I don't know what to tell you.
True, yeah. They're running off LAN right now. And then here we go. My favorite space pirate related Metroid trope: sneaking under the floors in Morph Ball, and they're somehow none the wiser, even though the floors are see-through.
And he could just look to the right, and he could have seen Samus. I guess he had no peripheral vision.
Yeah. They also somehow can't hear you, you know, in your boost ball as well. But you know what? That just kind of adds to the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, here's real quick after this. Apparently, I've heard trivia for this on the Wikitroid again. Supposedly, when Samus gets the X-ray visor, you can hear, like, you can put your hand to her mouth and she makes a gasp, and she looks behind her when the camera moves behind her and looks right at the camera and is shocked, seemingly. The idea there is, like, is she, like, seeing through the fourth wall with the X-ray visor? What's going on? So Wikitroid says.
Yeah, we're coming up to that cutscene right now.
Yep.
I mean, in a way, there's kind of another example. There's kind of another example of that if you think about it. All the Leviathan Seed cutscenes, she does that quick turn to the camera before the seed drops, almost like she's waiting for it and then walks away without looking.
She's also posing all the time. It's like, how would she know there's no one watching?
I mean, Samus has always been extra, like we talked about. Well, like she's always flipping out of the ship and stuff instead of, you know, walking out normal. Although again, she does walk out normally in Corruption, but like, you know, typically it's like, no, we got to do like 8 somersaults. But you know, she can do that. She's got that style.
There's a cutscene.
My most random Prime 4 hope is that the space pirates make a big-ass treehouse on that forest planet. You know what? I actually don't think that's impossible. I don't think that's impossible.
This is Federation Trooper NZG-41. Can anyone read me? Over. Repeat, this is Federation Trooper. Transmitting on an encoded channel.
And would you look at that? It's a definite Federation trooper, and certainly no one else that is trying to call us.
Information about how to bypass the acid rain and get through to the seed.
She gets her swag from Ravenbeak. True.
I don't know how long I can evade capture.
Samus knows the rule of cool. Still not over that first Dread boss fight where she's standing there in the background and slowly walks for the finish. That really is. That and the whatchamacallit, the Z57 cutscene where she just kind of aggressively shoots that locker. There's something about those two in particular that just get me.
If for whatever reason this map is required, like you cannot get the landing site to where the trooper is without this. There's a point of doing a replay through, and I'm like, I know it's an order. Where's the landing site? And then I'm like, I have to get this map. Okay. And then again, I guess the one in Brio is also required to give you the 2 landing zones.
Sure, I never thought about that.
But then again, that map thing is like, it is an objective that you're given as soon as you get to Brio.
Perhaps another bog level? Question mark? Bog if true. Killing Juggernaut without looking was ice cold. That was a killer moment too. That was so good. Like I feel like for a lot of people, especially post Other M, like that was the moment where a lot of people were like, "Oh, Samus is back." Dalnock says it's almost like they want to slow speedrunners down.
I mean, when Samus started to like, style on people and show off on some level, it's like, up until like, I think, maybe a bit of Prime 2, Prime 3, she didn't really do that openly before, but when it happens, I didn't question it.
I mean, it's Samus. I believe it. And also, one of my favorite things about the Prime 2 and 3 in particular, again, are these moving parts and just these detailed animations, you know, throughout all these environments. And you know, I was just looking at some of those moving gears as the ship just checked in there, and like, that's just such a cool feature that didn't need to be in this game, but it is, and it just makes the environment just so much more alive. And I really like that.
I wanted to scan that cargo drone to get a good look at it, because it looks like there's a space pirate head in there.
Yes, there is. That is, I think someone told me about that like a year ago, and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of brutal imagery in this game for sure.
It's like, Metroid is obviously the most openly dark Nintendo series, but it's like there are plenty of times where Borderlands I'm like, that's really grim dark stuff out there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then also going in animations, I love this this rail sequence as you're going up you're going up the tram, where it like shows the rails like being assembled in real time.
For what I know about design hoopla, it's like the more moving parts there are, the more likely somebody's going to jam. But I guess they figured that out in the future, or they just wanted to really look cool and they can afford the risk.
Yeah, that's the thing. It really is just the rule of cool here. She truly did return. Very true.
Okay.
Oh my god, these Phazon Shriek Bats there that we just rolled past, those are such a pain in the butt to scan when you're going for 100% scans.
Most streak bats are annoying to scan.
Well, those in particular, because they're too far away to scan at a normal distance. You can only, at least when I tried to play them, I couldn't lock on until they actually started dive bombing, and like, they got a really weird hip. Those ones have a really weird lock-on box in particular.
I also note that apparently in this area in here, the little things crawling around could do a deceptive amount of damage to you.
Actually, technically, those are the Ultragian Shriek Bats. Excuse me, almost became a fake fan there. The Phazon Shriek Bats are on the Valhalla. Saved myself there. Before the comments called out my fake fandomness.
Just a free energy tank.
Pirate Homeworld is Sanctuary Fortress with an emo haircut. I don't agree with that. I think Pirate Homeworld is able to stand on its own personally.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Ouija time. It's good gameplay art, something the Half-Life series does well too, with constantly active things in the environment. Yeah, dude, I love all the moving parts that are, you know, in these Metroid Prime games. 2 and 3 in particular, which really just go all out on it. Did you see the OG design they had for Brio in the concept art? It was originally far more fantasy than what we got. Maybe I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that.
I don't know off the top of my head. Well, you figure I would, because the concept art for the Prime series is immaculate.
I like how the little symbol for the X-ray puzzles is clearly trying to look like a Wii remote, but not be a Wii remote.
Speaking of what I just did, what are your opinion on the welding puzzles?
The welding puzzles. They're probably not going to return in Prime 4,
puzzles.
but I kind of wish they did. I like the welding puzzles.
I definitely like the idea of just, wow, this is a feature of the plasma beam. It's like, it's a neat idea, you know, like getting more out of than what you expect out of old upgrades. Well, which I guess isn't too surprising, because Samus has multiple upgrades that have multiple uses, like combat tool that's also used to open certain doors or certain environmental hazards or whatever else.
Oh, Lilith just said, "Oh man, Valhalla." I think in reference to when I brought up GFS Valhalla for those Shriek Beds. Yeah, that's another. I think that's another top tier Metroid area. I love the Valhalla. It's so good. Torvis also agrees. Loved the welding. Heck yeah. Glad we got some more. Glad we got some bogs and some welders in chat. You'll love to see it.
Okay, that alarm lasted like 2 seconds. It gives you no time.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think Samus would start shooting at it in the cutscene, but now she just kind of stands there. Which again, don't think about it, just play the game.
Also, some confusion. Prime 2, you had the pirate commandos. This game, you have the commando pirates. Yawn. Like, what?
Yes. Metroid Prime was made to prepare us to become mechanics.
So be careful coming up in this room in particular, because there are some security wires over here that'll alert the guards if you go past them, like right there.
Yeah, don't you know this isn't Metroid Prime 3, this is Metal Gear Solid 3.
What? I'll bump, let them know I was here, come on. I'm just still going, apparently.
I think the idea of Samus welding is cool. She did design the Prime 3 ship after all. That is true. Although I guess the way I interpreted that ship scan is that she designed the ship herself, but that she commissioned it. So I don't think she literally built the ship herself. She might have drawn up the blueprints for it, but I think the vibe that I got from that scan was that she commissioned the Galactic Federation to actually build the ship.
And the fact that she can build...
I thought that Diesel and Joey built it for her.
Well, no, that's the Super Metroid ship, Andy. We're talking about the Prime 3 ship.
Yes.
Well, we don't know who built what for sure. We just know Diesel's her mechanic in that one, but... I mean, at the very least, the fact that she can design blueprints at all it says a lot. I mean, considering she was raised by one of the most advanced alien civilizations in the universe, or galaxy, I figure she is pretty smart. She at least has to know how her power suit works.
Some good engineers in the planet, or in the galaxy rather here. Man, I love the pirate homeworld. My goodness.
Really is. Again, like the glow. I don't even want to say glow up because like it's been the exact same area, but like just my opinion, the way my opinion changed from it before and after my corruption playthrough in 2023 is just absolutely astounding. Like, it went from an area I didn't think that much of about to, like, one of my favorite areas in the whole series.
Is there an example of the exact opposite? You played through something, you thought you liked it, and it's like, oh, this sucks, actually.
Not off, I mean, there's definitely got to be something. I don't know what it would be at the top of my head, though.
In Metroid, I don't think there's anything like that for me. There's definitely been video games that I've played that I thought would be like made for me, and yeah, you know what's an example actually, and I ended up really liking this game a lot, but it took me a while to kind of get into it. Was Earthbound. That game I thought would be tailor-made for me, and it took me a long time to get like comfortable with the way that the battle system worked in that game, where like you can't see your characters and everything like that. That was one for me, but I can't think of anything in Metroid specifically that like, I don't know, I guess is it cheating to say other M?
I think the thing that Griff was asking about was like something that you liked when you first played it in Metroid, but then when you revisited it years later, it didn't hold up as well as you thought it did.
I see.
Because I can't really think of anything at the top of my head, but I'm sure there's got to be something.
You know, the only thing, and I can't say that I don't like it. It's just like it loses its impact after the first time you play it. Is all the text in Metroid Fusion. That might be the only thing that I might think of off the top of my head.
I think that's a fair example. Yeah.
I mean, even then though, like, you know, the average folk don't probably play Metroid Fusion as much as I do. So like, I'm sure they're playing it to experience that story. So even that's kind of an iffy one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like maybe I can say the GameCube controls, but like I also feel like that's cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the GameCube controls felt awesome at the time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like they still feel fine. You just need to readjust to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say that I have any others off the top of my head, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like I should, but I just don't know what they would be right now. And hang on, it looks like we just got another $10 donation from an anonymous user. Thank you, anonymous user. Yeah, feel free to let us know who you are in chat so that we can properly shout you out. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Samus, looking at the...
We're inching closer to 1,000, guys.
Yeah, we are now $858. We are past our initial goal, and we are so close to our stretch goal. Less than $150 away from our stretch goal.
Oh God.
Samus is looking at the hazard shield down there and is like, that has my name on it.
Yeah, hey.
It's
what are
like
they
the
doing
Marty
with that?
McFly meme. It's like, oh yeah, I know that one. I've seen that before. Locke says Pirate Homeworld is a 10 out of 10 for me. The deep reds and mechanical tunnels are very dystopian. 100% agree, dude. Yeah, Pirate Homeworld, easy 10 out of 10 for me.
It reminds me of like a Blade Runner area, to be honest. Like it's got the same like kind of orangey aesthetic that I associate, particularly the 2049.
It's got everything I love in Metroid, really. Like it's got, it's got that hyper future tech. It's got that grungy look to it. It's got the gross, organic, disgusting attributes of Metroid that I love.
Yeah.
It's got stealth sequences, it's got action sequences, it's got great set pieces, it's got great isolationist set pieces. Like it really is an area that just has everything that I love about Metroid inside of it.
The only one thing about this particular sequence that is kind of just like stretches your believability a bit is that Samus does not see through this facade.
Well, she does. She catches on. I mean, he tries to. He as in this very, very legitimate Galactic Federation trooper.
Yes.
I mean, tries to take a pot shot, but Samus is prepared. Samus is like, yeah, sure, I'll play along.
This part is challenging, and again, I think my stream's a little bit delayed here, but when you have to like match the pulling and pushing back in at the same time, oh god.
There's enough of leeway where it's not that bad, assuming your Wiimote sensor R isn't silly or your setup isn't optimal. I know some people are trying to play this on PC. Good luck.
Austin Cool Guy just asked a very important question in chat. I have to say, my roommate, by the way. Random question: have y'all seen the Alien movies that Metroid was semi-inspired by? What a question!
A great question.
Austin. We have an entire series on the podcast called Alien in Review. Where we talk about all of we're in the process of ranking every single Alien movie project. I believe the next one we have on the docket is Prometheus. Most recently, you and Gooey reviewed Romulus, which all three of us really enjoyed Romulus. So that
we're going through. We've done the Alien, like the first set of Alien movies with Ellen Ripley, which are all, I would say, like really good movies to various degrees. Alien 3 I think is probably the weakest. But yeah, so we've done. We just decided to do Romulus just because it was coming out. So next up is Prometheus, and spoiler alert, like I love Prometheus and I love Covenant, so I'm really excited to talk about those. I'm a big Alien fan. If there's Alien movies or games or something, I've probably played them. So yeah, that's gonna be really fun. Actually, and that's coming up not too soon or not too far away after the marathon is done either. We're gonna do Prometheus.
Oh yeah, and he says Romulus was his movie of the year last year.
Romulus, dude, had like so many cool like Metroid-y references, like beyond what you'd expect for an Alien movie to have. Like that was particularly Alien-ish.
I talked about it in the podcast, but that scene where the face huggers are first revealed and they're unfrozen, like totally gave me Xeno Research Lab vibes. Like the similarities are impeccable. It's probably just a coincidence, but I do also wonder if Fede Alvarez played a little Metroid Prime 3 in his life. I don't know.
Maybe he did. We got a heck of a fight going on here. Gandreda is low key, I think, maybe my favorite Hunter boss battle. Like Gore is awesome, Rundus is great, but there's something kind of about the franticness and the unpredictability of the Gandreda fight that I think is just like really cool, and like the set pieces as well. It's just like spectacular with the acid rain and the Blade Runner vibes here. Like just a really cool boss fight.
Yeah. Well, I think the Gandreda fight, like you could risk Gandreda feeling too samey because, she does transform and, so many of the other boss fights and even some of the other mini bosses you fight, but she also does that while having her own unique attacks that are in her personal form. And then you also do, I won't even spoil it, but there's another secret form that she'll transform into in a bit that is really cool. And I feel like that combined with all of her unique attacks does, at the end of the day, make her not just feel like a unique fight, but also kind of overshadow the others to a degree as well.
she's a gauntlet on hyper mode difficulty, very stingy with health drops. Yeah, I have to say I've never really played this game on hyper mode. I trust you though.
Enemies deal more damage and they have like double the health. Damage, Samus deals half damage and enemies deal double damage.
You know, like that's not really my thing. Is like playing a video game that's gonna like absolutely murder me. Sometimes it is, and like I want a challenge, but probably not like that. Probably not that much of a challenge.
Yeah, it depends. I don't usually like because like Prime 3 Hyper Mode I'm not really a fan of, but like the Metroid Prime's hard mode, even though it's pretty much basically the same thing where enemies become spongier, I feel like it mostly works in that game, which a lot of people disagree on that. There's obviously, you know, there's examples like, I don't think it works for Meta Ridley, for example, but I think most of the other boss fights, it just kind of makes them more intense. Like, it makes it feel like more of an endurance test, like with Thordis. I think hard mode really works well with fights like that.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Austin says, I can fix her. Yeah, what are we on now? Gandreda, Dark Samus?
Me and Dark Samus, Austin and Gandreda. Well, we'll get to MB on Saturday.
I would rather avoid MB altogether.
I really like actually the concept of MB, but we'll save that for Saturday. We got a heck of a boss fight going on. I love this Gandreda fight, man. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Right here. Yeah, this was, again, when I first played Gandreda, this was like such a really cool surprise, and it's like, yeah, of course it makes sense, because like, she copied you at the beginning of the game. Of course she'd still have that various suit saved.
Yeah.
How come Gandreda is zipping around like this continuously on boost balls and annoying? Like, I can't do that. You're not allowed. You're a cheater.
That's just the extra Gandreda ingredient that she's added to this mix. I
Doesn't
guess.
really do that to anybody else.
That you know of.
Copied Gore and Horrendous, and they're basically the same.
Maybe that just means that she likes Samus extra more and has been practicing. I don't know.
Lilith's computer crashed and they missed the first part of the stream. Well, that's unfortunate. But at least you got to get the majority of this fight. Dak chimed in with our difficulty talk. Honestly, the Metroid Prime difficulties making stuff more bullet spongy isn't even that bad. Y'all don't know real bullet sponges until you play a game like Destiny 2. I would probably hate anything where like your basic enemies have like literal damage numbers and health bars attached to them. I would probably hate.
I don't mind that. Just like the only thing I don't like is just like having like enemies that feel like you should be able to defeat them quickly, not do that. And like it scales, right? Like eventually you want to have that satisfaction where an enemy that took you a long time to beat earlier, you can defeat relatively quickly.
I feel like that's actually one of the reasons why I really just haven't enjoyed the Bethesda RPGs I've played, because, you know, I'll be facing a random human and like I'll shoot him in the head and it's like, oh yo, I still have 75% of my health left, and it's like, what the heck? No, you're supposed to be done. And so I just that just doesn't appeal to me personally.
God, look at the way Gandreda just moves around this arena. I think that this like the animations on her are just like so exceptional.
Yeah, and this was before mocaps. Yeah, so this is all just computer animated, which is really cool stuff.
She's all hip hopping around.
I think Gandreda might not be long for this world for much longer, though.
If she's hip hopping around, the best way to hit her is just to stay right up on her and just shoot her, assuming she's not going to jump on you.
Yeah, Dak also says this arena environment is dope. Love how Prime 2 and 3 just go wild with the colors in the background. Yeah, dude, the art direction in those games are just terrific. And as I was saying earlier, I love the Pirate Homeworld pretty much incorporates every aspect I love about Metroid, whether it's, you know, hyper sci-fi technology, whether it's the gross, disgusting organic elements, you know, whether it's kind of that, you know, the grungy, like broken down atmosphere of everything. Like it just kind of has it all for me. So I absolutely love it.
This scene too that we're talking over right now is just I think it's actually like just as heartbreaking as Rundus and Gore, which I know like people kind of favor those two hunters a little bit more, but like that reach with the arm out when she's Samus, I feel like you just feel so horrible for all these hunters. Like you wish that there was a way that you could save them.
Yeah,
which is
and
a really
just
good job
always-
that they've done, because like these are brand new characters that really don't have a lot of like personality to them necessarily, but you still feel for them.
That makes me
Yeah,
wonder
and,
if
and the
Silex.
way,
Kind of makes me wonder
the
if
way
Silex
Samus
can end
looks
up.
away too.
Kind of makes me end up wondering if Silex can end up being a one and done deal. 'Cause who knows? But then again, Tanabe. But from what I've heard, Tanabe, Silex is his favorite hunter. So I don't know if we want to kill him off.
I mean, we'll see. I would have hoped that Ravenbeak would have been kind of the same, but they ended up going a different direction there. So, we'll see.
Yeah, it's hard to say really. I have no idea what direction they're gonna go with Silex. I would. Hope
I mean, speaking of Silex, like that Volt grapple is pretty close to I think what you could maybe expect to see from Silex if like there was maybe a section of the game where you played as him or DLC or even multiplayer or something.
Yeah, for sure. Bye bye, baby girl.
Rip.
Torva
Yeah.
says, I'm not super into the concept of just doing a blanket 2x health on all enemies, but I think a hard mode that was more specific about changing enemy health would be cool. I think I agree with that too. Like, I like, I haven't played it yet, but I know Breath of the Wild's difficulty mode, they have the upgraded variants of enemies, which technically have more health, but like those upgraded enemy variants aren't just bigger health. They also have different weapons, different enemy placements. You have some of the bokoblins that are like floating in the air. And so I kind of, stuff like that where it like physically changes aspects of that I really like. And then even stuff like, you know, Dread mode and Metroid Dread, like the enemies do the same amount of health, but you die in one hit. And so it completely changes the way how you play. That's kind of what I really like out of a hard mode.
The only other noteworthy hard mode in Metroid would be Zero Mission that gives you less for collectibles, and there's other M where there's just none at all.
Yeah. I also do really like Zero Mission's hard mode as well.
Yeah.
Which also does boost enemy health as well, but like, but yeah, it doesn't ever feel like to a painful degree by any means. Also, Zero Mission is just a very easy game, so the hard mode is very much appreciated there. See, saving that progress though.
Yep. 50 collectibles exactly.
Andy says he's gonna grab some quick lunch. He'll be back in like 15, and then he's gonna be doing commentary for the rest of the stream. I think I might, when he comes back, I think I might get something to eat as well, because I'd like to get something to eat before I do my Dread mode run. Make myself some chicken burgers. Maybe I'll do some turkey burgers. I don't know. Yeah, looks like we're going back to Skytown Elysia because we got a spider ball to collect before we get our hazard shield.
Yep. I'm looking at my phone real quick, and I'm just like plenty of people like, oh, Nintendo released a new information on Twitch 2, and it's just talk about a rumor. I'm like, they didn't say nothing. Shut up. Or it's like, wow, amazing new Twitch 2 news dropped, and it's just like, it was the time of when the April 2nd Direct is going to be, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. Stuff we already knew for the most part, just when.
Yeah, which I am actually dreading because that Direct is going to premiere at 6 a.m. my time. So, I already took the day off work. I'm absolutely going to be getting up. Andy and I are probably going to be doing a live reaction to that. We might even do an Omega Metroid podcast on it, since it is going to be on a Wednesday. So, but yeah, I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be getting up for that. Not looking forward to that, but I'm a slave to Nintendo, so I will do what I must. No, in all seriousness though, I am really excited to see more about the Switch 2. I have been dying to see this thing for what feels like ages now, and we're finally here.
I don't know if I end up getting that day off. I don't know if I'll get up that early. 'Cause I'm the night owl.
Me too. There's very few things I'd wake up early for, but that's one of them. That's going to be one of them, because I think we see Metroid Prime 4.
I agree. Even if we didn't see Metroid Prime 4, I would still wake up early because I said, I'm dying. I am dying to see this new console.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about it.
What items do we have left here, Griff, to get before we're done? We have the hyper grapple. Are we missing anything else, or are we kind of are we fully
right now-
powered here?
So right now we're on our way to get the spider ball. That'll be just a couple rooms over here. After that, we're getting the hazard shield, and then it is hyper grapple, and then
And
we just
Nova
need to
Beam?
collect a few. Yeah, Nova Beam. I forgot
Right. Okay.
about that. That is true. Yeah. So PED. So a hazard shield, then Nova Beam, then hyper grapple, and then we got to collect the last few energy cells and go to phase.
We're gonna be cutting it tight. I don't know if we'll have time to finish because we got to stick on schedule to Dread, but maybe we can try and if we don't, we can try and finish it a little bit later in the stream too. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah,
Now,
I would say Griff.
once Power Homeworld is done, we don't have much left.
Yeah, I would say Griff. Once we once we get through this cutscene, I think going forward, we should just kind of try to speedline this to the finish. Maybe no more stopping for scans and like that, because yeah, we preferably we would like to finish the game before we start Dread, but Dread is pretty imperative that we start when it starts, just because of how that's going to handle.
All right.
There it is. There it is. Cool looking morph ball that the Samus has, by the way, when she's in PED form too.
That's all it is, Miles. It's a leap of faith.
Amazing scene, amazing moment.
Honestly, maybe in my top 5 comic book film scenes of all time. Incredible scene, like incredible scene in an incredible movie. Locke says, new rumors suggest Nintendo Switch 2 may have a screen and several buttons. This is true. My uncle at Nintendo told me this.
This must have been some insider information that came out from a leaker.
Yes. well, like I said, you can trust me. I got this info legitimately.
This is a cool section too, by the way.
Yeah, corruption. Yeah,
falling apart and.
I think Prime 2 has the best Spider Ball sequences, but Corruption has some dope ones too. I particularly like that one, like you were just saying, where you're on the outside of that pod in the air.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, and I think after we do Omega Ridley, Andy, I think I'm gonna go get something to eat as well, because I would like to get some food in my belly before I start running Dread mode.
I'm surprised that you're still on commentary, Doom. I was coming in to relieve you, and I ended up eating before you, so I feel a little bit bad.
No, it's all good. No, I thought I was gonna need to be relieved, but no, I've been having a good time actually. So yeah.
Heck yeah. This is just a really cool Spider Ball sequences. It's kind of like the Sanctuary Fortress one, but even like more high stakes. I feel like, because like you are literally floating above nothing. You know?
Yeah, I love that.
The spring ball here too.
Yeah, very nice.
Okay.
A very nice quality of life improvement. We love that.
Yes. Yes.
Austin Cool Guy says, what are the odds that Switch 2 plays games? And Lilith says that's asking too much.
We'll see. I'm not ready to confirm or deny anything at this point. Oh, and there goes Griff. The abyss.
Switch 2 will be a Nintendo console. This is very true. Many people are saying this. Mistress Fi says there is a 100% chance that the Switch 2 will allow you to play games. Well, there you go, folks. There you go. Can't beat that. And hey,
will it
Roy's
allow
back
us
in
to watch
chat.
Netflix? I feel like that's the question that I'm asking.
I think it's bizarre that that's a question we actually have to ask. Like you'd think that would be such a no-brainer.
Indeed.
But
and yet.
Nintendo
oh my goodness.
do be Nintendo.
Oof. Like the roller coaster on that last little stretch there.
Yeah, how you doing, Roy? Welcome back to the chat.
Hey,
we just collected
Roy,
Spider
what's
Ball. Just collected Spider Ball, about to head back to the pirate homeworld and do a couple of my favorite sequences in this game, I think.
Pirate homeworld and begin the invasion. I think it's time we took the fight to them.
Torvis is acting Roy. He'll have a news post ready for their leak. And there we go, the Chadmiral Dane announcing their invasion to us. Honestly, I kind of just want menu themes back. If Switch 2 has that, I'll be hyped. I agree. I think it is weird that the Switch did not get any menu themes at all. Like
a little.
That feels like,
it's not something that matters to me per se, but it's just weird that it's not there. You know?
Yeah. And like and again, it's like it's free money. Like a ton of people bought them on the 3DS.
Yeah.
The Switch has an even bigger install base. Like, again, it feels like a no-brainer to me. But we'll see.
All right, so we are headed back to the pirate homeworld here.
And thank you for plugging our stream on Blue Sky, and yeah, can't wait to see you during the first half of the Dread Mode race. I'm so excited for that. That's gonna be so nutty.
That's gonna be. I don't know what to expect for that. I don't know if you guys are gonna be like so prepared and so good at the game that I might have to start throwing in some shenanigans, or you know, if it's gonna be what I was hoping it would be, where people are dying left and right. That's one that I am very excited to watch.
Be dying left and right, but we'll see. My last run, I finished with 98 lives, so I was 1 life away. Which, I mean, we could very easily go over that. Like, one slight mistake on Ravenbeak, which is very, very easy to make, could definitely put me over the threshold there. Oh, here's an interesting little leak from Torvis. You actually download the Switch 2. It's an update.
You wouldn't download a console, would you?
Oh man, it's gonna be the Wii
You don't want to know what
U.
I'd download.
I
would download a console.
It's gonna be the Wii U over and over again, except this time it's gonna be the vice versa. Everyone thinks it's a new console you buy, but it's actually an update this time. This is how Switch 2 fails, yo.
Okay, then here's a question. Like, obviously what I'm about to say is dependent on how well the Switch 2 does, but how long do you think Nintendo will stay with this hybrid console handheld / Switch brand model? Because you know at some point they're going to switch it up to something else, even just arbitrarily, because like, we've been doing this for too long. 2's the limit. We're gonna do something else entirely. But of course, if they did, it's like, what would that be and why? Because it's like handheld and console stuff. They've had that on lock forever, basically. At least handhelds. No one's ever been able to dethrone them from that position.
You know, I think
really.
the answer is that they're going to stick with it as long as it's successful.
I'm also thinking, like, if any other company has something like the Switch, they would milk that till the end of time. But of course, Nintendo isn't like any other company. So, what are they going to do? Even though they've been making more sensible decisions with this during the Switch era, but Nintendo's old quirkiness is their best, like their greatest in strength and weakness, basically.
I definitely think I agree with Andy that as long as it's a success, I think we're going to continue on that model.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like, it's hard to say, because even if, like, you know, I imagine the Switch 2 is still going to be successful, kind of similar to how, like, the 3DS was to the DS, where it didn't sell as much, but, you know, at the end of its life cycle, you know, it still sold, like, almost 80 million units, which is, you know, is objectively just a success, even if it doesn't touch the original DS.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I have to imagine, like, you know, the cat's out of the bag at this point. Like, how do you go back after this?
I mean, granted, me asking this is kind of just a matter of that's what Nintendo will have to figure out. What will they have to do different or better from here? Because that is part of business in general, just trying to figure out things that people didn't even know that they wanted.
I mean, I almost kind of figure it's the same thing as, like, you know, a controller almost. Like, the SNES introduced a standardized set of buttons that would appear on all Nintendo consoles moving forward. That was kind of like the quote unquote gimmick at the time. I guess, and the more powerful hardware was a big one, kind of similar to the Switch 2. Actually, now that I think about it, I would imagine that maybe like the hybrid factor. I mean, it's too early to tell, but I would imagine maybe that's like just kind of a new thing moving forward, and Nintendo just kind of adds on a new gimmick on top of that. I will say whatever the console is after Switch 2, I don't think it's going to be another iteration like the Switch 2 is to the Nintendo Switch. I do think that there is going to be something substantial about it, but I don't know. I kind of think that going forward, we're just going to keep seeing hybrid consoles from them, because I don't know how you go back after that.
Unless the Switch is their handheld and they're got something else in mind. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't know. Again, we don't even have a Switch 2 in the wild yet, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say. Anything can change in a matter of years.
Time to skedaddle. The door will open.
And I see you're doing my favorite Echoes tactic and leaving them all on red.
Yeah. Did you do the pro strat with the Dark Pyre Commandos where you just freeze them with Dark Beam and shatter them with the missile?
That's the only way I deal with Dark Pirate Commandos.
You wouldn't think that would be a thing that would work, but it does.
Yeah, I would not dare deal with them in any other way, frankly.
Like, light dark annihilator beams, I almost never used them for the longest time with Prime 2 because it's like it can be stingy with ammo sometimes, and it's just there's only so much ammo. I usually just sit on it until I need it for something, but I've been more stringent with them over time, and I gotta say the dark beam is like one of the best beams ever. It's really good.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with beam ammo. I'm pretty good at keeping both topped off enough. My last run though, I was getting pretty bad power bomb RNG though, and Andy can definitely attest to that. There were some moments where I was just like, really? So, which is funny because I assumed that it wasn't as bad in this game, because when I first replayed it in November, I was getting pretty good power bomb RNG, and so I just figured like, oh, I guess the power bombs are not as bad in this game. No, I just got lucky there. I just got lucky. And it looks like we're on our way to the Nova Beam. Anish says, I wouldn't change anything. Are you talking about the Prime 2 ammo system, or are you talking about Switch 2 versus Switch 3? Yeah, the Nova Beam looks so rad in this game.
Is Sam's able to get around in ship and on foot so well in the Pilot Hollow because she's just that good, or the pilots are just stupid?
I think she's just that good. She's able to maneuver this in some pretty narrow spaces. Like, that's a small tunnel that she's able to fly that through.
Yeah, I'd like to think so, because I know some people online, they're like, they say either about the Space Pirates or even Phazon, something like that. Like, oh, this is... They can be beaten by one person. They must not be that great. And I'm like, it's not, the one person is also Samus, so...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Samus is just kind of a beast, you know? Not many people are going to win that fight. In fact, no one's won that fight so far.
Yeah, that turret is unusually tanky.
Yeah, the Nova Beam turret. Lilith says the second one. Anish says Switch. Gotcha. Okay, so Lilith, you were thinking of beam ammo, and then Anish was thinking
Hello?
The Switch.
A photo bombed by an advanced trooper there.
Advanced Trooper has entered the chat.
What the... Yeah, I know those were alarms, trip sensors there. They didn't show up on X-ray, and then even though I went under them in Morph Ball, they still showed up.
Looked like you still went through them on my screen. Yeah, Dark Pirate Commandos, it's always Dark Beam and Missile. Commando Pirates in Prime 3, it's always Hyper Mode. No exceptions.
Or Nova Beam.
That's true. After you get Nova Beam and X-Ray, that's true. True, absolutely. KB says, jumping back in here, how's it going today? Pretty good. We're on the Pirate Homeworld in Prime 3. I want to say we're at about the halfway point for Pirate Homeworld. Then after that, we're just going to collect the last energy cells, and then it's on to Phase.
What I remember, I should get the 5 that I need just by playing the game.
Sure, I don't think I've ever not done a 100% run in this game, so... Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Yeah, this whole Nova Beam sequence, I really love.
Nova Beam has just got to be one of like the coolest looking. I know you just said this, but like I'm throwing it out there too. Like just one of the coolest looking beams in the series. I'm a sucker for the green.
Yeah, it looks cool. It sounds cool. It has a gnarly looking charge beam. I love those 3 little points that like pulsate and electrify around the charge beam. So dope. And of course, you got those Prime 3 particle effects that I'm a big fan of. Yeah, very, very cool looking beam. And very powerful with the X-ray visor with those commandos too. Very satisfying to one-shot them. As well as the Hatcher Metroids later. KB says, nice, and look at that smashed dono goal. Let's reach for the sky. Yeah, baby, yeah!
I think I'm gonna be playing this mystery game. Whatever this title ends up being, I think we might see it revealed sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I thinking you might be right on that one. How excited are you for this mystery game, Andy?
Well, I mean, I'm not, but I am excited in the sense that you know, we have crushed our original donation goal. So that is very exciting, and we've raised more money than I thought I would for, you know, people that need it. So I'm willing to play a game that I will not enjoy for a good cause.
Austin says, yeah, Doom, where is the Metroid X Limp Bizkit mashup? You know what, Austin? That's a good question. Where is the Metroid X Limp Bizkit mashup?
I'm gonna tell you something. The new Limp Bizkit record is awesome. That's a great that's a great album.
I will say, I unironically, I love Limp Bizkit. I know like I think a lot of people are starting to warm up to them too. Like they were like cool to poo-poo on there for a while back, but like I feel like new metal is like kind of starting to come back a little bit, and people are like really getting back to like Limp Bizkit and Korn and all that, and that's like totally my jam. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, I never was into Korn, but my new metal was like Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park. Did you count Evanescence as new metal, sort of? I like them.
I think they're close enough. They got the vibe of new metal for sure. Yeah.
Andy,
what
if that game makes you a fan?
I actually just saw Evanescence last year at Aftershock.
Nice.
They killed it. It was such a good show.
Nice.
Andy, what if that game makes you a fan? Honestly,
you know what?
Should be a fan. Limp Bizkit is awesome. I will unironically praise Limp Bizkit from the sky, man. I love Limp Bizkit.
I mean, I think Torvis is talking about the mystery title, but maybe they're talking about Limp Bizkit too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. He was saying Andy, not Austin. I totally misread that. So yes.
What if it does make me a fan? You know what? That'd be great because well, I probably shouldn't say anything else because I don't want to reveal anything about this mystery title here. But I would be fine if, you know, I came away from it just being like, you know what, that was a good one, and not the typical fare, so to speak, for this series. Whatever the series ends up being, of course.
Yeah. I like how Lilith is now contributing to our new metal discussion. Breaking Benjamin, I think so. Disturbed, I think early Disturbed, absolutely. Like, you know, The Sickness, 10,000 Fists, definitely new metal. I think even like Indestructible. Some of their other stuff like Evolve, I don't really consider that new metal. I think maybe their most recent album was probably like Back on Track in that range. I think I'd say, yeah, Disturbed probably counts enough as new metal. When I think of new metal, though, I think of like 90s bands mostly. Disturbed is like kind of literally like the year 2000, so they're like just off that cutoff point. But like, you know, I think of like, you know, like
I think of
Limp
Stone Cold
Bizkit.
Steve Austin when I think of Disturbed.
Yeah, right, yeah. Break the Glass.
That's a cool song.
I love it. They actually just remastered it on their 25th anniversary release that's coming up in March.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I think of like, again, Limp Bizkit, Korn, what's the Deftones, I think of them.
I don't think of them as like a new metal band.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
But I don't listen to a lot of Deftones either, to
yeah.
be fair.
Yeah, and then Linkin Park, obviously, that's a big one. I think Rage. I don't really think of Rage Against the Machine, but I feel like they have that new metal sound, but they have a different kind of swagger. You know what I mean?
All right. So Griff is still. We are desperately trying to infiltrate the inner sanctum of the pirate homeworld here, and we're looking for a way, anyway, to mitigate the damage from that acid rain here.
I already got that a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we already got the hazard shield. Yeah,
we are looking for a way to get that Leviathan accessible. I kind of been dipping in and out here. We're right about to start the sequence with Chadmiral, right?
Yeah. So first we're gonna get the Nova Beam. We're gonna do that little mining tool boss fight with the Ragdoll space pirates that I love.
We're like maybe 30 minutes from that sequence though, right? That's one of my favorite in the game.
Oh yeah. We're right around the corner from it. So we're getting the Nova Beam. We're doing that fight, and then it's time for the invasion.
Such a cool sequence.
Yeah, we gotta fight our first Metroid Hasher first.
I feel like I almost always fight my first Metroid Hatcher in the Valhalla when I get there.
I only fight the one required to fight without Nova Beam, and then I save the other two for later.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I never fight the Metroid Hatchers without the Nova Beam X-Ray combo.
Probably a good idea, to be honest with you, because they're definitely difficult. I always, anytime I play Corruption, I'll try and go to the Valhalla like basically as soon as I can. Try and get as deep as I can as soon as I can.
Did I skip something? I should have fought a Metroid Hatcher before I got here. Oh well.
Pretty sure Metroid Hatcher is through a different door. That's when you you know that Metroid experimentation area? That's the one where you see like dissected Dark Talon Metroid. There's an alternate door that you go through there. I think that's where the Hatcher is located. Because you don't fight it on the way to the Nova Beam, or at least you don't have to.
You can keep shooting at me if you want.
Yeah, I love this fight, love the Space Pirate Ragdoll, and I love that you actually have to use them to damage the machine. That just always gets a crack out of me.
Metroid processing, the room with that scan. I think we should have invited Roy for Metroid trivia.
Yeah, I think so. Most definitely. I almost spoiled the result there, but I will refrain from saying anything. I will.
Yeah, don't do it.
I will let you all watch the trivia and see what happens yourself.
A Mexican standoff here, waiting for him to do something. Oh. You're not gonna last us longer there, bud. Goodbye.
There it is.
Capture card will do that. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself. I shouldn't do that on stream right now. Yeah, actually,
Oh.
Andy, can you hold it? Andy, can you hold it down a bit while I put this scene together, real quick? Thank you very much. I'm gonna mute myself.
I do agree with Doom. I love the way that it just like sucks up all these poor. You know, Metroid does kind of a good job sometimes of making you feel bad for the space pirates and like all the stuff that they have to go through.
Nah.
Because like it really doesn't seem like they're treated all that well from their subordinates or from their higher ups rather.
I know that the space pirates are all pure evil, so if anything ever bad happens to them, they had it coming.
You know, people said that about the orcs too, but there's some nice orcs out there.
Which
Lord of
one?
the Rings.
From what?
The dude that they made for Rings of Power is kind of a nice orc guy. You know, nice isn't the right word. He's not like just an evil bozo though. There's probably a couple other orcs out there that are alright.
And that is it.
Let's go.
I think there was some guy that showed up and he got squashed.
Man, the way they just go flying, yeah, like I said, you just gotta feel for these guys. Oh, yes. Probably the coolest charge shot, I think, in this series. Maybe the Annihilator Beam comes close, but I really love the Nova charge shot.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's it, right? Like what do we have left? Like, just Omega Ridley?
You gotta do the whole invasion thing first, and then
Well, like for
Esco.
power-ups, I mean, sorry, like it's just Omega Ridley and the Hyper Grapple, right?
I believe so, yes.
I believe so. All right, we're rocking and we're rolling. Love it.
Oh, wait.
Thrall from World of Warcraft is a good orc. There you go. I didn't even think of the World of Warcraft orcs.
I'm also
Excellent call out, Lock 7.
One of the things that first pop into mind is the Warhammer 40k orcs, and they are not nice. They are very mean. They're very evil. Then again, everyone's
Let
kind
me
of
ask you a
evil.
question, Griff, as someone just like a complete noob in that world. What's give me like the elevator pitch, the general gist of Warhammer K. What is 4K or whatever it is. Like tell me like what is that about? Because I have to admit, like I am not sure at all.
Warhammer 401k.
Yeah, sure. Tell me about them all.
There's obviously plenty of factions and lore and information you can't get into with Warhammer 40k, but it's like very just grim, dark, over the top ridiculousness. It's just all just depressing and terrible on every level. But it's
what's the general? You know what I mean? Like if I were to tell you the genesis, like the elevator pitch of Lord of the Rings, I'd be like, there's an evil warlord who has this magical ring that gives him dominance over other species, and all the other species are trying to like unite to defeat him. What's the pitch like that
just
for
warfare and like terrible things going on across the galaxy. Everyone's struggling to just survive and accomplish all sorts of different goals that they might have. But the grimdark, over-the-top ridiculousness is part of one of the big appeals of it. Just because how over-the-top it is. You just look at the Space Marines, and it's just like that's ridiculous, and that's it. That's Warhammer.
Henry Cavill's a big Warhammer guy.
Oh yeah.
It's good enough for him. It's good enough for me.
Just a shortcut.
Oh, you know what? We got to give it up too for the X-ray visor in Corruption. I'm sure we've talked about it, but man, it's just like what a cool what a cool way to reimagine an existing concept or like a staple of the Metroid series and make it feel just entirely unique and entirely new again. Very very good choice there.
Definitely love how it looks more than the Prime 1 at the very least.
Yeah. You know, and like it looks cool in Prime 1. It's just like it's an X-ray visor that's just used for discovering objects that aren't visible. But like this is like really to the next level, like where it actively, you know, helps you with combat. It actively helps you with a bunch of different things that you're doing. I do kind of, I don't know if anyone else is gonna pick up on this or not, but like these the X-ray sections with the phase or like the phase on there, they always kind of remind me of like this one level from Perfect Dark, where the Pelagic 2, which is like this alien underwater spacecraft. They kind of have like the same kind of like moving, shimmering walls and stuff like that. It always kind of gives me those vibes.
I never played Perfect Dark.
I don't know if it. I mean, I think it holds up, but I have a lot of fond memories playing it as a kid. I think it still does, but I don't know. I don't know if like a new player that grew up on like dual analog first-person shooters would be like super into it, you know?
As someone whose first console was an N64, I haven't played most worthwhile games on the console just because as a kid I had no reference for any, like what anything about video games. It was just whatever I found that looked cool, like Blockbuster or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents actually followed the rating system, so I didn't play like Perfect Dark or like I technically played Ocarina of Time for like 10 minutes at someone else's house, but I had no idea what was going on. They were already in the middle of Hyrule Field. I didn't even know what Zelda was at the time. So, yeah, I played like Mario 64 and Smash 64 and Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, but there's plenty of others I just didn't play.
Roy says he loved that mission. Yeah, I have the Xbox Live version of Perfect Dark as well, and like, man, it looks really, really crisp, or just really, really slick. And an underrated cyberpunk classic, actually, Perfect Dark is. Looking forward to the new Perfect Dark. Kind of. We'll see about that.
At some level, it's just like Microsoft. Technically, it's like only like in the Doom games, like the only thing they have like on lock. Other than the Forza, I guess. But for the most part, it's like Doom is the first thing I think of, where it's like, this is good. Like, this is gonna be good no matter what. As opposed to, like, Halo or Gears of War and a lot of, like, I know Fable's coming out, but it's like, I have, like I said, it's just no real... I'll give it a chance, but at the moment, I have no expectations.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we're gearing up here. We're in the getting close to the finale of the Pirate Homeworld here. An amazing sequence that we got coming up with, you know, something I think Metroid is kind of lacking, which is like teamwork with other like actual living, breathing humans. And I'm glad that they don't do it like often, but I felt like by doing it in this game, it really did kind of like add to like the stakes and add to, you know, everything that that's on the line here.
Mm-hmm.
Just blasting these guys away. I love it. Oh, that was a clean headshot too with the X-ray, the X-ray Nova Beam combo there. That was nice.
Hyper mode, I don't know if it's just a hyper mode, but there is a thing where it's just the power commandos, if you zoom in on them, you get static and it doesn't really work.
Hmm.
I don't remember if it's necessarily every time, or I don't know if it is that it doesn't work, but good luck finding where their head is and when you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm. Another great set piece background, I think, with kind of like the Phazon Leviathan residue coming, coming in here. I really love the Pirate Homeworld. I think it's an underrated area. It doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
In terms of like the great Metroid Prime areas. I mean, it's got some pretty famous, big brothers and sisters, if you will, like, Skytown and Phendrana and Sanctuary Fortress. But like, I feel like this isn't like that far behind any of those ones. Like, I would personally probably have it as like a top 5 area, maybe throwing in Talon Overworld in there too.
Sure, I could see that.
On my most recent playthrough of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, this is one of the only things that I don't like that it does, is like if you're fighting a space pirate, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Griff, but like if you're fighting a space pirate that has a shield and you knock the shield away, it turns, like the scan turns into a different space pirate, the one without the shield. So it kind of like it kind of changes enemies on you there halfway through.
I don't remember, honestly. I have to double check.
Oh, look at that Nova Beam charge shot to you. Man, that looks good. So I feel like the corruption, like when the Phazon is building up, like I feel like the same kind of thing that I feel in like Majora's Mask. Like I think all the players have let the Phazon build up to see your game over at least once, like to see what it looks like. Just like, you've let the moon crash into Castletown at least once to see what that looks like. Pretty neat.
Yeah. It's the same as the normal game over changing to the blue instead of yellow, red, but yeah. About that. One thing I noticed not too long ago, I think, is where it's like in Prime 2, outside of like the powers, like outside of like super missiles and I guess screw attack, technically, every power up you get in Prime 2 is either things you get that Samus brought with her from the Guardians, or it's all new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of a plot explanation as to why the things are what they are.
I actually think that that Echoes does one of the better jobs in the series of like justifying why like all of your power-ups are like stolen away and why like your enemies have them. I think it does a really good job of that.
Yeah. I mean, how they took them from Samus in the first place is a bit weird, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I can live with that though. Like the Ing kind of sort of somehow sucked the power-ups out of Samus, almost like a Metroid would. I can live with that.
It's unfortunate they made their planetary shield powered by Morph Ball bombs.
Well, a lot of great engineers in the galaxy, but maybe they don't get to the far reaches here.
All right, and he is back.
What's up, Doom?
Pretty good. Looks like I made it just in time for the invasion.
Pretty quick, yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah, Roy was talking earlier about your Perfect Dark discussion. Says definitely play the Xbox Live Arcade port of Perfect Dark, not on NSO. I believe that was the same one that's also available on Rare Replay, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, yeah.
There's also, if you have the means, there is a really good PC port. It's still in beta development, but I played a little bit of that, and that's also a really good port if you also want an alternative means to try out that game. Either way, though, you can't really go wrong with Perfect Dark.
Outstanding job, Samus. The
you'll
invasion
love
is
to see it.
officially underway. Let's go.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't say it often, but he's impressed.
Imagine if this was the mission where he lost his leg.
Outstanding job, Samus, but I did not authorize the use of any of that equipment.
Oh boy. That's Saturday night.
Yeah.
This is a great room. Just a great room in the in this area too. I'm a little bit of a delay here, but the one with all the acid rain, where the room that you initially have to sneak through, just a fantastic set. Pretty much any set piece that has the acid rain, I just think looks so just fantastic.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, and there he is. Best boy.
There's a large security door located at the end.
Wow.
Demolition troopers are needed to open the final door, so you need to make sure
It's
enough of them
perfect.
make it safely through this area. You are the only one.
But
The only way it could have been better is if he was wearing a V-neck and blazer combo.
It's up to you to finish the job. So right
Yeah,
behind
that's
you, Samus.
no. What he really needed is the reverse Fred Durst hat, the chains. That's what he needed. The sideburns, 100%. All right, do some damage, Griff. Let's do this.
I think like they're yellow. That was totally a power bomb you just used. Give me one of those. I can do this whole thing. You can just sit here and relax, yellow man. I mean, they are yellow like power bombs, so.
Yeah, we literally don't need to make a single sacrifice. Like, you guys are good.
Since our armor is weaker than most of the troopers, we need you to watch our backs through this.
Yeah, I still do think it's funny. And again, I know you're not supposed to think too deeply. I do think it's funny how the demo trooper has the weaker armor instead of, your regular trooper. But again, it's game logic. The gameplay comes first. Don't think too hard about it. Oh my gosh, and we just got another $75 donation from Roy. Thank you so much, Roy.
Wow, thank you, Roy. Holy moly.
Flying off that
Yeah,
platform.
didn't leave a donation comment, but that's okay. You've been active in chat, so yeah, hope you're still here, because yeah, thank you very much for that generous dono, Roy.
Yeah, unbelievable. We are now at $933 raised for the Trevor Project. And for anybody that, of course, doesn't know, Trevor Project is a non-profit that focuses on suicide prevention for young trans and LGBTQ youth. And every cent that we've raised here is going straight to them. So that's going to make a big difference, hopefully, in someone's life. So thank you so much to Roy and to everybody that's donated. I'm flabbergasted. Like, I think we're gonna have to reveal the mystery game like today, like maybe even before corruption is done. I don't know.
Yeah, we are less than $70 away from hitting
What
this
was
stretch
that?
goal, and rumor has it that Andy is not excited to play this game. And so, if you are an individual that loves watching Andy suffer,
There's a lot.
this might be the way to go.
Oof. That's going to be after a really busy day. Federation Force. What else do we have going on that day? I'm going to be kind of the tech guy doing Metroid Prime Hunters. We've got a really competitive Super Metroid race that day. So like, I'm going to be tired. It's going to be the end of the marathon, and I'm going to have to play this mystery title.
Yeah. And that's right, because correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Saturday night you're doing Metroid Prime as well, which not going to be quite as big of a gauntlet as Echoes, but that's definitely going to be a gauntlet endurance test. Doing all
That is
in a single
tomorrow,
setting.
actually, my friend.
That's tomorrow. Gotcha. Okay. I got
So
my days
anybody
mixed up then.
anybody that for whatever reason, and God help you if you do, but if you want to see my face on stream, tomorrow is the day, because I will literally be streaming from 8 a.m. till probably like 11 p.m. Mountain Time. So you will never want to see my face again after tomorrow. I promise you that.
Tomorrow is quite literally the Spateri show, not related to the podcast, also of the same name.
Why are these guys getting in front of me? Thank you. Bye.
Griff is keeping all these troopers alive too. Just a great support that you've given him here, Griff.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was worried there for a moment. I saw those aerial troopers firing on these guys, but yeah, Griff, you kept it together so far.
I can't really do much with that guy.
Yeah. Oh, this room, this is the one that always gives me trouble. Even in hyper mode, like, it usually takes me a few tries to get this one right. To get all 12 of the troops out alive. But yeah, I think if you make it through this room, Griff, you should be good. That guy definitely did not make it, but for some reason they're not counting him towards our stock. You know, these casualties don't matter, because they don't have the yellow armor.
Yeah, they're only counting lieutenants. If you're not a lieutenant, they're like, whatever.
Yeah, sure, whatever, this guy, well, you know.
We got a couple more of them. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna say anything?
Yeah, so far,
Nothing
so
to
good.
do.
All right, yeah, looks like you made it. I think Griff, you're on track.
You are just killing it here, buddy.
Yeah, pun not intended with all the trains going by. Which another thing I forgot to mention. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a sucker for a good train, and the Pirate Homeworld, it's got trains, baby.
It does have trains, yep. You must like Legend of Zelda Spear Tracks, then, dude.
You know, unironically, there's a possibility that it could be the worst Zelda gameplay game ever, but the trains just elevated a few points for me. Because I love trains that much. You put a train, I'm a simple guy. You show me train and I smile.
I like it.
Goodbye.
Alright. Yeah, I was worried that we weren't going to finish. I think we're going to finish. I think we're going to... Because what? We can go... Oh, you know what? I guess we got to get a few energy cells, though. Is that right?
Should have enough already. I have 5.
Oh, perfect. Then,
okay.
Booyah.
Okay, these 2 jobbers and me versus these guys.
Excellent use of the word jobber there.
A lot of people in chat just got excited when I mentioned our stretch goal game would make you suffer, Andy. So get ready.
You know what? That's
all right. I did it.
That's what we signed up for.
100% survival rate. Just what you'd expect from Samus.
Dreadclaw Dragodon says, "Does Doom like Thomas the Tank Engine?" Then absolutely. Who doesn't like Thomas the Tank Engine, man?
I was watching some Thomas the Train with my nephew not that long ago. It's a fine show for young lads and lasses.
Yeah, there's definitely worse shows out there to watch. More insufferable shows. I think Thomas still holds up.
I have to say, I think Paw Patrol is a better product, though. That's as far as a kid show goes, that's a good show.
I hear Bluey is supposed to be really good. Like, I have even, friends in my age demographic that actually really like Bluey, so I might check it out sometime.
Okay. Suplex City. Right. Heck yeah, Dreadclaw.
Okay, Big Prime 4 Hope. X-ray functionality, and you get it within the first half of the game. Interesting. That's one thing. If they do introduce a visor early on, then chances are that it's going to get a lot more use throughout the game. And so if they did introduce an early X-ray visor, perhaps that means that we see some more cool stuff that we haven't seen from it before.
There's some time travel black hole dimension hoopla going on. It could be something related to that. Or some dark visor adjacent thing, maybe.
I could definitely see a time visor. I think we might have even talked about that on one of our Metroid Prime 4 themed episodes after the reveal. But yeah, that feels like an upgrade that makes sense.
Time visor, I see in the future or the past, or you look at something hard enough and they start to age real quick. Oh.
I could eat my words here, and maybe I will, but I don't know where the time travel comes from. I think it's going to be like a wormhole or alternate dimensions. And I think you're going to have... You know what Torvis just said in chat, actually, a temporal visor, and that's exactly kind of the right thing, where you're going to be able to see, objects or enemies or something that are, in a different phase of reality. Which, I guess, the dark visor is kind of like that a little bit, but I would say used, an actual good extent.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how like the time mechanics are going to play out. And I think given the logo, how it literally is a black hole, I think you might be on the money there with it like wormholes being involved. I think time is just kind of a shorthand, just because Tanabe and that Federation Force interview he did when he was mentioning the things he'd love to see in a Metroid game, he specifically mentioned like a time mechanic. That's also, we're talking about a very loose Japanese translation though, so it might not be super literal.
Well, I remember he was just like, if a Prime 4 were to end up happening, it'll probably be about time travel, I think is what he said.
Yeah, and then so far, a lot of the things that we've seen in Prime 4 and even Federation Force to an extent have pretty much lined up with that interview. So I think a lot of people are jumping to that.
Where are you jerks?
These troopers are tough customers.
Alright then, get the X-ray visor. You gotta lock on, come on. What's going on here? There you go, there's 1. 2. 3. I'm thinking about using the X-ray visor zooming in on these guys. You think we'll get something like that, like some sort of like sniper visor or something?
Maybe depending on like the beams and weaponry you get, that could be something.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm looking at the time right now. I think we're making great time for Prime 3 because according to my sheet, we're starting at 3 p.m. my time, and so that's an hour and a half away. Still, I think we're gonna make it.
I think we're gonna make. I think if we're close, like I think we could push 30 minutes if we need to. I think that would be okay.
Yeah, I think we're in a good place, especially since we're not going for 100%. We're just doing a casual run here. I think we're absolutely going to make that. An hour and a half seems like plenty of time to me. Torvis Bolt says, Metroid is kind of in the future, so I'm hoping for a lot of stuff happening in the past. Ooh, interesting. I never thought about it that way. Because we do kind of get that in Metroid with like the Chozo civilizations, or even, you know, some of the stuff like the Bryonians in Prime 3, the Reptilicus. We do get glimpses of the past, but we're not literally going into the past. Maybe Prime 4 will give us that opportunity. Very interesting thought.
And to be fair, like I think that you could do the wormhole idea and time travel almost like together. Like I don't think that they have to be like mutually exclusive, you know? Like I think that you could do both of those. And I would love to see, you know, like something that we've never seen before. Maybe even the past predating the Chozo would be really interesting, or at least like predating them till their like transcendence, so to speak.
It wasn't there.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Wasn't it at least theorized that black holes do one, if not both, of those things?
I mean, there's a lot of theories about what the heck a black hole could be, and the beautiful thing is like they can all be true because nobody knows.
Yeah. Yeah, and Disinferno saying a thought I think we all agree with. Look how good Prime 3 looks. Absolutely incredible. Agree.
Like people
nearly 20-year-old game, nearly 20-year-old game on the Wii, and so many aspects of this game still hold up. The art direction is impeccable. Again, I still think the Charge Beam is my favorite Charge Beam in the entire series, with all its crazy particle effects. There's so much cool stuff in this game's art.
Like, people keep saying in other M reviews where it's like, it looks pretty good for a Wii game. I'm like, Prime 3 is right here.
Yeah. To be fair, Other M is also a very beautiful looking game. Even though the art direction doesn't quite work for me, like, it's a very good looking game.
I'd say Prime 3 is at least top 5 best looking Wii games.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And again, we're not using like any like HD texture packs or anything. Like, yeah, we're actually no, because you're playing on your Wii U, so this is yeah, this is base resolution. We're not even upscaling it, and it still looks this good.
Yep.
Yeah, Prime 3 is a beaut for sure. Yeah, Torvis, this game is very cool. Torvis says, I have a legit leak about black holes from a dev, but I sadly lost the information.
That's crazy. I had one too, and I misplaced it.
Honestly, people want Prime 2 remastered, but I would be happy if they just skipped to 3. Well, I mean, I want both, to be fair. I think most people do. I think most people are just jumping to Prime 2 since that's the next one in the trilogy. But like, I want the whole trilogy.
Yeah. Weird if they remastered Prime 1 and 2 for Switch and then remastered Prime 3 for Switch 2, and it's like we're gonna leave one in the like 2 on the previous gen hardware, one on the next gen, like the original versions of these games. But some people bring up the Switch 2 using the Joy-Cons being used as like a mouse, and I'm like, is that how they're gonna solve the Prime 3 controller issues?
Alright, I'm gonna grab something to eat, y'all. I'll be back in like 30, maybe 45 minutes.
Sounds good. You're missing Omega Ridley. This is a highlight for me, I think.
Oh, it's a really good fight, but I got to stick around for the invasion at least. I just want to be absolute sure that that I get my food in me before we do Dread, because I definitely don't want to eat until that time.
Heck yeah.
Pun not intended.
Yeah.
On.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in a bit.
All right, see you on the other side.
Now this is a Ridley fight that I really like. You know, we were talking. I was watching you guys this morning, and we were talking about the Ridley fight falling down the shaft, and I think that that's like an amazing Ridley fight. But this one I think is like so cool too. This is kind of what I wanted, like Meta Ridley in Metroid Prime to be more like, rather than where he flies around a bit. I kind of wanted that close quarter brawl. Like this fight, I think is just so cool, and the theme goes hard. I know. I like Omega Ridley. That is probably shocking news, but I do. I'm a big fan. I remember specifically playing the game and thinking it was cool that he was named Omega Ridley. It just sounds cool, you know?
They cancel that ability to attack out and just get it in his face.
Oh, there it is. Rip it off. Rip it off.
Well,
Hey, Lilith, what's up?
hey, sorry about that. I lost the feed. There we go.
Oh, you're good. You're just in time for little Omega Ridley here. I do. I'm a big
Yes.
fan.
Something.
Oh yes, and this is the best use of this X-ray visor, I think.
That just looks so cool.
Here's your armor, jerk.
Hey.
I think partway through this battle, he's like, oh, wait a minute, I can fly.
Man, Griff, you are just like taking it to these bosses. By the way, that's these bosses have nothing on you. I kind of like too the like the gross kind of like organic-y. Like they almost remind me of like the sandworms from Dune, like these little pits that Ridley flies into. Well, we were talking earlier about this. What is your favorite like Leviathan boss from? Actually, not even your favorite. Rank the 3 Leviathan bosses. So Helios, Moganar, and Omega Ridley. What do you think?
Oh man, nostalgia has to put Ridley at 1, and then I like Mojanar, and then Helios.
That's you know what? You're another that has Helios in last. And to be honest, so do I. But I feel bad because I think Helios is really cool.
I mean, yeah, it's a cool fight. Don't get me wrong, but I just love Ridley, and I like Mojanar's design. So
And there he goes.
GG.
If I was
On you there,
if I was the Order Leviathan boss, I'd probably go Omega Ridley, then Helios, and Moganar.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty hard not to take Ridley at number 1.
Moganar say it's just annoying, or you can just wait around for him to do stuff, trying to hit his buttons.
I really like the Omega Ridley like remix too of the theme. Like I think it's a kind of like a nice frantic version of that. Oh, and man, now we've got like the fully corrupted PED suit, Hazard Shield. This is the top tier suit I think in the series.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like at this point in the game.
I really like how this suit looks.
Catherine says, "Yay! Congrats on surpassing your goal." Hey, thank you very much for that. And hey, you helped contribute as well, so we should be thanking you for doing that. So absolutely incredible stuff here, and we are closing in on our stretch goal very quickly. I dare say I think we're gonna hit it today, and that's not good news for me because we have a mystery title that is going to seemingly have to be played if we hit that stretch goal. So we'll see what that is.
Let me know if you guys hear an echo. I'm trying to get the video up again.
No, you're good. It sounds good to me.
All right, cool, awesome.
I'll let you know if we do. Look at this little waggly thing. This kind of reminds me of the thing from Jabu Jabu's belly, like that. The ones that just hang from the ceiling and waggle around.
What are those things called?
I don't know. Probably nothing good. Well, here we go. What do we got, Griff? So we're going to the Valhalla next, and then the big finale.
There's one thing I'd like to show off real quick, like the only other area in the game where you can actually use ship missiles on enemies. And after I use it, I'll get it on the landing site so I can leave right after.
Why the heck not? If it'll only take a few minutes, let's do it. We have an hour and a half left. I think that we got time.
The only other thing, like, there's actually another thing right after, but I can literally do that in like 10 seconds.
Sure.
Now the last Leviathan down. And yet these
There it
phase-on
is.
tendrils are still wiggling.
Samus walking away from an explosion never gets old, says Catherine. Yes, that is true. And what an explosion that is. My goodness. You'll have to see it. It's Great Worm Disinferno. And that's what they called Metroid Prime. They called it the Worm. And the Great Poison. Metroid Prime had a lot of names given to it by the Chozo. The Great Poison. I always thought that was a really cool descriptor. I actually ended up naming the final chapter in our walkthrough for that, the Great Poison, because I thought it sounded cool.
With the Chozo Unleashed, you spent hundreds of years trying to find. Aurora Unit 217 figures out in a few hours.
This location is so far away, it cannot be reached by conventional space travel. We must instead create a wormhole to reach it. The pirates have constructed a Leviathan battleship, which is in orbit around this planet. If we can board this battleship, we may be able to force it to open a wormhole. Large energy surges consistent with a warp device are traveling between the pirates' planet and the Leviathan battleship.
We instead have to create a wormhole, they say. I'm telling you, I think that's going to be the same thing in Prime 4.
Maybe.
Catherine, the me on Samus looks eerily similar. I could see that. I could see that, except you don't wear glasses. At least not that I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, Catherine. You should replay the series, and you should learn to speedrun one of these Metroid Prime games so that I can call on you next year to to do that. Bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. There it is. There's the little pat on the head for the me.
I'm gonna make this quick pit stop. And I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute bathroom break before I head to the final stretch. It'll be my final stretch. Actually, now I think about it. There's a missile right behind me.
Akonorian. I think this is the only Prime 3 area that we haven't covered in the Great Metroid Area Ranking, which is our Patreon series. You really don't get to see like too much of Norian, which is is too bad.
Yeah.
The planet itself.
It feels a little like unfinished. That's it. I want more from it.
Yeah. Where is Griff going?
The only other
I've seen you do a lot of things that I never knew that you could do on this playthrough. Actually,
the only other place I haven't been to in Norian yet. If the door
I
will
have
open.
learned a lot watching these streams.
yeah, we were just talking about how cool the PED suit, when it's like got the hazard shields and is fully corrupted like it is right now. I think it just looks like so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Kind of cool too, because like Samus's suits always look so pristine and slick and everything like that, and then this suit kind of looks a little bit rough around the edges, decayed. I kind of like that look a little bit, almost like unlike the Batman Arkham games, like when you play in Batman's like cape and cowl and suit and stuff like that start to get a little bit rough towards the end of the game.
Yeah, it's like you see the wear and tear of the mission.
I like that when Samus uses the welding under the Nova Beam, the flame is bright, bigger, and green.
That's when you know the flame is at its max power, is when it's green.
I think it might be hot.
Green is even hotter than blue fire, which I also hear is pretty hot.
Yeah. Is it white the hottest, I think? I don't remember. As far as Star
White's got nothing on green.
I mean, there's the phrase white hot.
You've never heard the phrase green hot?
No.
Should have some salsas.
Neither have I.
I believe this console here right in front of me is how you get the secret codes in your ship. Yeah, the secret special access codes. Put them in little pad in your ship at the very top, and you'll get the special messages from developers like Shigeru Miyamoto, Yoshi Sakamoto, Kensuke Tanabe, and Satoru Iwata.
Neat.
Of course, how would you know that's what it means? Because they're just numbers. But anyway, this is other thing I wanted to show off, and this is the one other area in the game that I know of where you can actually use ship missiles on enemies. I mean, there are a bunch of Metroid hoppers, but better than nothing.
Hey, yeah, you like the ship missiles. I feel like in Corruption are so like, what's a polite word here? I don't know. They feel underutilized. How about that?
Just hold this button and just wait. Still alive, huh?
You know what? So here we go. Forrest says, I will say I do miss the more drastic changes of Prime 2. It was much more of an event when you got the light suit rather than the slow changes of 3. Yeah, I mean, yes, there's certainly something to be said for that. But again, like, I kind of feel like the law of diminishing returns comes in a little bit too, where like you've done that in Prime, you've done that in Echoes. Like if you're gonna do it in Corruption, like the suits just like better be like spectacular, right? Like just not kind of the same old. So I'm kind of glad that they did it a different way.
Oh, nice.
Dang,
Absolutely wasted.
I can use ship missiles again, so I might as well do it here.
I mean, like, is there anywhere else that you use ship missiles in the game to fight enemies? I can't think of it.
When you first go to Thorn Dock, or the Thorn Jungle pirate base on Brio, you can use it there to open a gate, and then you can use it again when like the Berserker Lord comes out. About it.
That is so neat.
Are you gonna fight this Metroid? Whatchamacall?
Yeah, it'll take like 5 seconds now that I have Nova Beam X-Ray's visor, and I can then get also another energy cell.
Yeah. How many do we need for? How many do you actually need for?
You need 5.
Valhalla.
If you know where you're going, you need 5.
You need 5. Okay. This is the only multi-lock blast door shield in all of Metroid Prime 3. I did not know that, Roy.
Yep.
I did not know that at all.
They're only on the Federation. Is the only one that has these blast doors that you rip off like that. The game will load. I know there's a Prime 3 randomizer I saw from Bash Prime where one of the first things he had to do was fight the Metroid Hatcher with like almost nothing.
That seems like something I would not want to do.
Goodbye.
To be honest, I don't want to fight a Metroid Hatcher even with like most things, and not because they're like insanely difficult, but because I find that they're just like a tough enemy to like fight in terms of like actually like latching on with your aiming, and then like getting the secret missile to actually hit where it's supposed to. Now that's obviously without the Nova X-ray combo, because I mean you just like destroy this thing in about 2 seconds. But I think regularly as intended, it's not my favorite enemy to fight.
Nope.
Look at that! Look at all this phase-on junk floating away.
They currently have 6 energy cells, but I'm gonna get a 7th at the Valhalla, so I have most of them already.
There you go.
Valhalla freaked me out. Yeah, Catherine, Valhalla's freaky. I love Valhalla.
The other 2 energy cells, one's on Alicia. You gotta go back to where the defense drone was and use hyper grapple voltage. The other one is on Brio with this massive side quest. Like the only real Metroid side quest I can think of. With the ship grapple.
The one where you gotta move like the head back onto the statue or whatever?
Yeah, because I only had to go back to Brio for screw attack, and after that, that's like a massive section of Brio that is just you just don't have to deal with if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a third of Brio is just isn't required. Or it's a quarter to a third is just not required to go through if you don't want to.
You know, and I think that's both good and bad. Like it's, and I probably actually say it's mostly good than bad, because like yeah, if you don't want to do it, like you certainly don't have to, but if you're willing to put in the time, then you get rewarded for it, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So now that this little side quest is over with, I'm gonna go touch down on the Valhalla and then go take my quick bathroom break.
Sounds good. And then yeah, the final stretches.
Now the playthrough's coming down to the wire, and I don't have much left to. I don't have any more secrets to bestow.
Catherine me giving us power.
You know, 242 says that you can't reach phase in conventional space travel, but in Prime Hunters, Samus and the other hunters go to another galaxy with their gunships, so I guess you could get there if they wanted to, but it would take a really long time, and they don't really have time to spare.
I think they used a wormhole in Echoes and maybe just forgot to tell us. That sounds like what they did to me.
All I know is I got in their ships, they went, it was a long journey supposedly, I think the manual said that, but there's nothing other. We just know they did the thing, and then that's it.
Man, I love this like blood red kind of, you know, not a supernova, but like presentation in the background there. There's a word for this that I'm trying to think of. Red giant, maybe. I don't know if that's the proper name for it. Yeah.
Is it Space Red Tide?
Forrest says Valhalla makes me hope for some truly unsettling areas and beyond. The power outage in Prime 1 was also super creepy for me. Yeah, I would love for them to really lean into the horror. I know it's probably never going to happen, but you know.
Maybe Nebula Catherine is what I'm looking for. Griff, can we throw on that BRB scene instead of the starting soon, and we'll be back in a few minutes?
Yeah, if I was going to think of any sort of cool, unsettling area in a post-Prime 3 game, it's some sort of planet that was mostly corrupted, but then the Phazon went away, and now it's just some charred husk. It's basically a dead planet.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Alright, back once again to finish this off.
Welcome back.
Let's go. Final stretch.
Stretch it out. Get some water.
It is important to stay hydrated. I got some water. I got some coffee. Feeling good.
I've had some water. I've been drinking off and on.
Very good.
Griff, this is quite the impressive run you have done here this morning. I thank you for it. This morning and this afternoon, I should say.
You're welcome. 61 pickups. Those energy cells do count towards 100% correct collection. I think Doom was asking about that earlier. Or the Lacey. You remember the artifacts and Sky Temple, Dark Temple keys in Prime 1 and 2 count for item collection? I think they do.
That's a good question. I think they do, and at least in Prime, because I remember I actually didn't visit the Artifact Temple till I had like all the artifacts, and I was still at 99% items, and because there I hadn't gotten the Article of Truth or whatever it is in there. I think at this point, Griff, we just skip past any scans. We just power through and we get to the end. I want to see that Dark Sam's boss battle.
I have the answer to the question if you want the answer.
Yeah.
It says that the temple keys, the Dark Temple keys, and the energy transfer module do not count towards the percentage.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm assuming the artifacts from Prime 1 count, though?
Let me check.
I'm not checking. Come on.
Just really an area here, kind of unlike a lot of other areas. I guess like the wrecked ship is like sort of kind of like on the same level as being like a scary kind of area that you can go into, but I don't think anything quite on the level of this.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I guess, pseudo wrecked ship in 3D.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not getting a straight answer, but most people seem to say yes. The artifacts do count.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll find out the answer for sure tomorrow when I'm playing Metroid Prime.
I didn't even think about that.
We'll see. I think that's correct though. I think they do.
Oh, you're still at
These on puddles are really kind of annoying guys.
So you can actually take him out with the I was about to say like the grapple voltage, and you can actually replenish your health with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as Sky till Metroid until Dread happened.
What's up, Doom? How was your lunch?
I haven't eaten it yet. I just took it. I decided to air fry up some wings.
Oh, that's what I'm talking. That's gonna give you the power you need for Dread.
Oh,
That sounds so good.
So SSF Jaxis, what time zone is the schedule in? It is in. What does it say right now? 10 a.m. So it's in Eastern time.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dread will be starting in about an hour.
Yeah. We might push it back a little bit if Griff isn't done Dark Samus yet by that time. I'm feeling pretty good, but where we're at right now.
I think he's gonna finish ahead of time. He's doing really good right now.
I'm feeling pretty good about where we are, but if we need to, we're this close. We'll push it back a little bit.
I'd say phase will probably take like half an hour at most.
I think you're probably right. I think we're gonna be okay. Oh, that was cool.
Jeez.
Creepy little particle man there. Hey.
I always forget about him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah, God, GFS Valhalla, it's got to be another top tier area in the whole series, man. Like,
yeah.
Oh, and oh god, these poor Federation troopers. I always feel
Oh
bad
no.
Rip. Have you guys watched The
Oh.
Expanse?
No, you've brought that up to me. I definitely need to get on that sometime.
There is a very blue-looking phazon-like substance in The Expanse as well that kind of reminds me of what we just saw there with those troopers. Very cool show.
Rip Samus.
Oh.
I do like the detail of Samus. You can see Samus's breath in her visor when she's in these zero-G areas. Or vacuum in the vacuum areas.
Really nice.
Well, Doom, earlier you missed the only other area in the game where you can use ship missiles, and that's in the air, like this the landing zone before Generator B, and where all the phazon is in the Metroid Hatcher.
I actually, believe it or not, I actually caught that. I briefly stopped in my room after I loaded the wings in, and I actually did just barely catch that. So it's the first time I've ever seen them in action on that area.
Yeah. All that build up for nothing.
Yeah, the hardest boss of the game right here, folks.
Also, actually, apparently a detail I didn't know about from Metroid Dread, because there's never really a time where I had to do this, but actually watching a randomizer, and apparently, if you're like on the very edge of the screen, you kill an enemy on the other edge of the screen, and the pickups just don't automatically come towards you. Apparently, if you charge your beam, the pickups will be drawn towards you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. I just kind of assumed they always just gravitated towards you.
Far enough away, they won't. At least that's what I saw. You know. Again, it was on a randomizer,
Cool.
so.
It's a neat little detail. Force Hoku earlier said kind of reminds me of Dead Space 2, where you go back to the area from the first game, but it's eerily silent and sterilized. Sometimes just changing a previous location is enough to give it liminality.
Yeah, I love that part of Dead Space 2.
I definitely agree here. I feel like that's what makes Valhalla another thing that's so effective. It's like you've already seen what a properly functioning, healthy Federation ship looks like. Here's what the horror version looks like.
It is likely that this code could allow us to control the Leviathan in orbit above the pirate. Find a way onto the Leviathan and use that code.
78356.
Say before we head out, I think we should play the secret message at least. That won't take long.
Again.
Data log entry 2467.
I think it was 356.
This will be the last
Yeah, there we go.
of the GFS Valhalla.
The audience is probably hearing that right after you already checked that, so.
Our efforts to repel the space pirate boarding force have failed. They have successfully removed
I mean, the voice for this AU is already inherently deep, so when it's beginning or removed from its tank, if its voice got deep then, that would be kind of creepy, as it says darkness coming.
Mm-hmm.
It is vital that the Federation receive this transmission. Severing main power. A large bioform is creating a wormhole. Implant into sentient planet which is the source of all phazon. Darkness coming.
Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back.
Oh man, I forgot how bad the doors were in this game.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the loading times in Corruption are brutal. We were talking about that earlier. If they port that to Switch, that's actually my most requested feature is faster
Yeah,
loading times above all else.
absolutely. That's just crazy.
You can get a surprising amount of health in these phasings, where they just blow up.
Yeah, they come in especially handy once you're on phase.
Yep.
With the hyper grapple, they're a great way to keep your phase on level in check.
Also seen the best way to get to those doors when the air is either pushing you back is just going to Morph Ball. I have 120 missiles and I'm about to go to the final area. About how many missiles would you need before you say that you're pretty much satisfied?
Hard to say. Definitely more in a Metroid, in Metroid Prime 1 or 2, just because I use super missiles a lot more in those final fights.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter as much in Corruption. Roy says we wait longer for doors in Metroid Prime 3 to open than we have for Metroid Prime 4. Damn. That physically hurt. Stalnex says feel like that would really come in handy for later difficulty levels. I assume he's talking about the missile talk.
I think Metroid Tactic is just walking away. You almost got me with that one.
Now, leaving enemies on red is my favorite pastime in a Metroid game.
I just gotta get the pirate code. Or implant the pirate code.
Oh no, excuse me. Stalnox says they were talking about the health restoration. Yes, the hyper grapple is essential in hyper mode during that phase sequence. Because all the phasing there, like without them, like it becomes substantially more difficult.
If you ever feel bad about completing a Metroid game, leaving all the items you didn't collect behind, Sam is going to lose them all again at some point, so don't worry about it.
That is very true.
Very, very true. That's a good motto for life, actually, I think.
We've got this area covered.
You don't see anything to be interesting?
Most of the pirates have retreated underground, but you'll still need to stay on guard through these
Oh
sections.
yes, my favorite place.
Best way to get around is in Morph Ball, so I try to whenever I'm able.
I thought the bog was your favorite place.
I can have two favorite places.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
In elevators, you can't jump, but you can use spring ball. What would you consider, like, Metroid Prime staple abilities that show up in basically all the Prime games? How many of them do you think will show up in Prime 4, like Boost Ball and Spider Ball?
I was about to say Spider Ball's a big one. I would actually be very disappointed if there was no Spider Ball.
I think you can almost certainly say Spider Ball, Boost Ball, Scan Visor, the like the space jump, double jump, of course.
Charge beam.
No, we already saw that
Yeah,
one.
charge beam. That's confirmed.
Yeah, Scan Visor and Charge Beam we saw in the trailers, so yeah, those are locked in. Power Beam missiles, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I mean, aside from like the Metroid staples like power bombs and all that kind of stuff, which we know will be there, the grapple beam. I think like the only thing that I would feel really confident saying 100% on would probably be Spider Ball and Boost Ball. Because I think people just love that combo.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
There are just so many puzzles that involve both of those. So.
What are the chances of Seeker Missiles or some alternative coming back?
You know, I was just about to say, Griff, I think Seeker Missiles is probably a not a safe one, but probably like probability-wise the next closest one.
I think if Seeker Missiles do come back, they'll function, excuse me, a little bit differently.
Then again, you can even now that Prime is probably going to use a twin stick shooter like in Prime Remastered over the tank controls. Probably easier to aim at stuff with Secret Missiles than they were originally.
Yeah, and I think they'll be updated to accommodate that. And as a result, I think they'll become a lot more useful too than the handful of scenarios that you use them in 2 and 3.
You know, assuming they can hit their target. When I see certain things that I know are a Morph Ball tunnel, and it's something like, I just assume it can only be broken by Morph Ball bombs because it's a video gamey thing. It has to do this thing, as opposed to like shooting it with a super missile. That'll work, but the Morph Ball bomb does.
Torvis Bolt says, I want a line say that I saw a Spider Ball track on the announcement trailer. I love making stuff up.
Oh, don't do that. People will believe you.
Our source that I made it up.
Samus, answer the phone from Admiral Dane. Samus, turn the Wii off now.
In Prime 4, what biomes would you like to see, and what biomes would you not like to see?
I would like to see Sanctuary Fortress. I hope I never have to see Meridia again.
Time to end this.
I mean, Prime 4, what would you like to see, not like to see?
With the fleet. I look forward to fighting alongside you again.
I hope
I don't know what you have against
again,
Meridia.
and I hope I never see Meridia again.
Meridia is an exceptional area. It literally has everything that you can want as a Metroid fan. It's got great music, great bosses, great design. I don't know what's
I don't like
what the
sand.
rap against Meridia
It's
is.
coarse, it's rough,
Too much
and
water.
it gets everywhere.
Yikes. Yikes.
Let's get another bog. I want another bog.
Where my bogs at?
Those jungles looked pretty lush in the
Yep.
Prime trailer. I'm not sure about that.
I don't know, man.
We'll see. Bog is really kind of an underrepresented video game level. There really aren't a lot of bogs. There's a lot of water levels, but they it takes a certain je ne sais quoi to make it a bog, you know, and not a lot of water levels have that.
Bog.
We're gonna get a bog T-shirt on OmegaMetroid.com, by the way.
I am so down. Day one.
Take heed, Samus. Once you join the fleet and the wormhole to phase is opened, there is no... Please
I don't know, what in your guys' opinion is like the definitive Torvis? You know, as I was just saying that, it's the blog, obviously. I was about to ask you guys, what's the definitive Torvis bog enemy? It's like, what if we made them doing like the pog face with the words bog at the bottom? And it's like, it's obviously, it's the blog, obviously.
Not only that, it's the Alpha blog, the best boss in the game.
I'd actually like to see Samus explore a futuristic, populated cityscape. I was about to say Sanctuary Fortress, but yeah, you specifically said populated.
Yeah, me too.
I agree with that.
Just to
Absolutely.
see what a populated city is like in Metroid, as well as all the scans we could get.
You know-
Immediately think of one of the endings from Zero Mission where she's in the bar. That would be really cool.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's one of the cool things that I wish Metroid would do a little bit. And you know, we've kind of had some ups and downs reading like the Samus and Joey manga a little bit or whatnot, but like I really love the way that the game or that manga just really opens up the Metroid universe a little bit, you know, beyond the classics that you know and love. So I think that would be really cool to see, like, actual planet, and I feel like that would add some stakes to like what you do as well, if you know that there's like actual people that like these space pirates are adversely affecting, you know.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to get attached to people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if there's ever going to be a Metro game with some sort of central hub, that could be a thing, and then it's just one city and a planet going through something.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
Although as far as Samus seeing what she does outside of her job, that's like something a TV show would do. Like the Devil May Cry show is basically what happens after DMC 1. It's just Dante doing his job. That's basically what it's mostly about. Even though there is obviously an overarching plot that culminates at the end of the season, but you know, that'd be interesting to see what Samus does, or at least what her not top profile jobs are like.
By the way, speaking of Dante and Limp Bizkit, are we stoked for the roll-in intro for the Devil May Cry anime?
Hell yeah!
I thought that was like a fan-made like thing when I saw it. I couldn't believe that it was actually real, and I love it. I'm not like a big Devil May Cry fan, but I have to admit that's gonna get me to watch that show.
I love Devil May Cry. It's one of my favorite series, which is like honestly like DMC 5 is probably my most hype announcement at E3, just because I did not see that coming at all, especially at a Microsoft conference of all things. Like Metroid Dread, I knew like that's my game of the decade, but on some level inside, I knew that they'd make it eventually. But DMC 5, like they had the reboot, nothing for the long like Devil May Cry 4 was the highest selling Devil May Cry game at that point, and then they did a reboot. I'm like, what's going on here? What are they going to do? When's it going to come out? And then 10 years later, they make DMC 5, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's finally happening.
I love that for you. I've played Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You play 2, you poor man.
Yeah, I don't love them to be honest, but
All right.
that type of game really isn't for me. By the way, we're talking over this just amazing cutscene here, this amazing view of the planet phase, all these ships coming in, Samus' ship coming in hot. My goodness, this is cinema right here.
This is
But
probably
yeah, Devil May Cry I feel like is it's an acquired taste, and I don't know if it's my acquired taste.
all right.
I didn't really care for like Bayonetta either, to be fair. It's just kind of like similar-ish.
Like if you played through 1, 3, and 4, and you're not your cup of tea, I don't know if necessarily 5 would convince you.
I don't think so. That's okay though. Oof, it's Samus.
Uh-oh.
She's feeling the influence here, everybody.
Going through it.
The good thing she knew that pressing that button on her chest would do that.
That's forward thinking from the from the engineers in the Galactic Federation to put that button in there. Torvis. Scanning a human be like regular Homo sapien. They work 9 to 5 and struggle with depression. Yep. Well, hopefully they don't struggle with the other thing you said.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder, like, think if Samus scanned us, like, what do our scans say? You know, like, what do they say about us as people?
Well, she scans the fleet troopers and engineers on the GFS Olympus. Is just male engineer. That's it.
Yeah. Male dude in his late 30s with a Metroid website who lost every single game of Smash Bros. Last night. Could be worse.
Female human hominid. Broke kneecap walking downstairs.
Well, you can either laugh or you can cry, right? God, Phase is just like such a wicked final area.
It's my favorite.
love it.
It's my favorite final area in a Metroid game. Nothing else. Probably the most meaty final area.
The little like Leviathan babies too, I think is a really kind of neat and interesting touch.
There you go.
This area, we were talking about areas that would look spectacular, you know, if they got a glow up in a remastered. I mean, this would just, I feel like, pop off the charts.
Yeah.
You know, with how this would look, the luminescence of everything.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
that would just
beautiful.
look spectacular.
I think now we're near the end. What do you think your favorite and least liked upgrades in the game? Least used, I guess.
I gotta say it's gotta be the grapple voltage for me. It feels a little bit contrived, maybe is the word, which sounds like mean, but like you really wouldn't use it if the game didn't put you in situations where like you had to use it. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably my answer for least. I don't know. What about you guys?
Oh, least. Let's see.
On some level, I don't know if I'd go hyper ball because it's like you can't use bombs anymore, and it just drains energy very quickly. I don't think the damage it deals like bounces it out. And I feel like it doesn't even do as much damage as the energy cost should suggest, especially considering hyper beam is pretty good.
I think I would have to go with the hazard shielding just because you don't get to use it very much. We just get for that like one.
I feel like it just looks so cool, though. You
It
know?
does, yeah.
I'm okay with it. At least we can see what it looks like.
Yeah, I guess I'm just one more.
No, that's fair. Skullnox orders are to terminate the hunter on site. What a cold line that is. I love it. Chosen Warrior. Now I need the story of the engineers that had to make the PED suit in 1 month. They probably had to crunch for that too.
I made the suggestion that maybe they just put the PED suit, the button on Samus's chest, is put on a Varia suit, and then the Varia suit did all the rest.
Slap some super glue on that, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. We are getting close. Close to the end. Oh my goodness.
Note that in this area you cannot
again.
Oh, you can unmorph. I didn't think you could. Okay.
Doom, how are your wings? What kind of flavors are we talking?
Jump
some
on.
buffalo wings.
Nice.
Blue cheese or
Wings.
ranch?
Huh?
Blue cheese or ranch?
Neither. Buffalo wings.
You know, I will say, Lilith, I used to, before Sam and I moved into our house, we lived in a little townhouse that was by this bar that had buffalo blue cheese wings. They were
Oh,
awesome.
that sounds
They were,
awesome.
they were incredible. I hope you guys can't hear my my clackling on my Switch right now either. I'm trying to do a few things for tomorrow.
I honestly didn't notice until you brought it up, but even so, like, it's barely there. Like, you
Okay.
really have to listen for it.
I should have said anything. What was I doing?
Yeah. Hey, you should have waited for us to go, what the hell is Andy doing?
That door just then is a thing. I forget where I saw it, but I think Hybrid Ball is the quickest way to deal with that.
Triplery guy says, I would kind of like to see Metroid Prime revisit the living planet biome trope, but with much less blue everywhere. I'd definitely be down for that.
Yeah.
I like creepy, gross, disgusting organic Metroid, and that is it's right up there.
Walking health.
I gotta say, I love the blue of phase, like the bioluminescence of it. I think just looks like incredibly spectacular. While you were eating Wings Doom, we were saying, like, you know, we talk about Sanctuary Fortress, we talk about, you know, even Pirate Homeworld, but like, man, how would this look on a remastered? You know, like, oh boy,
With all the modern lighting effects, oh, that would look insane.
I don't ask for much in this world, but I do ask for Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered.
That might be asking for much.
It might be.
Don't get me wrong, I love it too.
I will be very happy.
Yeah.
How far down does this thing go? Not much farther, actually. Actually, no, it kind of does.
Forrest says, I think, some of those interesting No Man's Sky planets, purple grass, or some other weird flora is always cool. I think that would be interesting, yeah. I think we need, a jungle would be really cool.
You know, I agree. That's like an area that we haven't really gotten a lot of. Like I mean, kind of Brinstar and Super Metroid, kind of Brio, but like, those aren't necessary. Like, I don't think of a jungle and picture that necessarily. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear jungle and I think of Donkey Kong.
Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah.
vines and ditties and other, maybe not ditties.
Yeah.
maybe not that one.
Just show up in
That's
the
a bad
background.
jungle.
Yeah, that's the jungle that nobody wants.
I think he took a wrong turn.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, another scan that is such a pain in the butt to do, getting that infant Leviathan right there. It is such a narrow scan box on that thing.
Oh, he's so cute.
You know, which also interesting that's the organism they use for the Prime 3 menu of all things.
Yeah. You see the thing at the end, at the beginning.
It all comes full circle.
This infant is surprisingly tanky.
very tanky, yeah. Because it wants you to be in that gauntlet with all the Metroids. But yeah, pretty cool sequence how they did that, where it just kind of reappears on both sides.
There it goes.
And you have to physically, rip off the sides with the grapple beam. Pretty cool concept.
Another unnecessary flip.
Well, it wouldn't be Samus if she wasn't being a little extra. Torvis says, I'm known for being a big Metroid fan, but there's actually a Metroid game I haven't played yet. What is that, Torvis?
Maybe Metroid Prime Pinball?
If it's Metroid Prime Pinball, you need to play Metroid Prime Pinball. It's kind of the greatest thing ever.
Do that thing.
Guy, baby is tanky. Sorry, had to.
Oh, they said I haven't played Metroid Prime 4. Yeah, you know what? That's fair.
Fake fan.
Boo!
Yeah.
Playing Metroid Prime 4 right now. What kind of fan are you? Come on. I just found out that Silex is indeed Adam's son. Wait, brother.
The guy who died in an explosion? He had one line of dialogue?
Or did he? What was is Ian Malkovich?
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Ian.
How could you do this to us, Torvis? We trusted you.
There she is.
Dark Samus thinks you can just regen her health like right in front of us. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Disrespectful.
And there's the smash victory animation. Pasta Gang says true fans love to play Metroid Prime Pinball with the Rumble Pack on. True! Yeah, where are my pinball stands at? Actually didn't realize that you could use the X-ray visor in this hyper mode sequence.
You couldn't use it before. You couldn't do it before, so yeah.
I honestly thought you couldn't use any of the visors while you were in hyper mode.
You could.
Except for the scan. Well, I guess yeah, you can use the scan visor, and I should have thought of that. Now that I'm saying that out loud.
I feel like honestly I've learned a lot like watching you play this game, Griff. Like I didn't know that you could do a couple of the things that you can do here.
Yeah. I also like how when you fire a missile, like it actually shows Samus's hand cocking to the side when it reloads. Yeah, like that. That looks awesome.
Oh, that's so cool. I never knew that.
Slam a basketball.
Man, what a cool moveset Dark Samus has. They should incorporate that into like a Smash game or something like that. Wouldn't that be cool?
If only. Yeah, that's crazy talk, Doom. What are you doing?
Torvis, I appreciate that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun streaming Prime 2. I'm so sad though because I was in the restroom after stream and it clicked on me the Powerbomb expansion that I missed, and I'm so sad that I missed it now. but it is what it is.
Dark Samus is the only real difficult part of this, because she's surprisingly tanky. The rest of this is pretty easy. Not that bad.
She should be, though. I feel like she's earned it. Honestly, I think Dark Samus should have been the final boss. I guess technically she is, but like
if it went
Dark Samus.
If you fought Aurora Unit 313 twice and then Dark Samus, it'd be impossible in hyper mode. You're not gonna do it. At the very least,
I feel like you should just fight like 313 first and then just deal with Dark Samus after. Would have been how I would have done it.
Yeah.
This laser beam hurts.
Yeah, I would have done that, and then I would have incorporated an actual escape sequence afterwards, because you just kind of get a cutscene, and it feels like there should be an escape sequence there. Maybe incorporate the gunship into it. Since after the fight, Samus is cured of her corruption, you should be able to access her gunship. And I think it'd also be awesome because like you get that Metroid Prime husk in the room before the battle. I think it'd be cool if like Dark Samus like summons like a bunch of like Metroid Prime cores to fight against you, and just have like this big super brawl at the end.
So
and then you can even
just fighting. If you're on hyper mode, my guide or tip: beat Dark Samus and just spend this entire time on this phase just farming health. The clones or the tentacles, destroying them, drop health. So just use that to farm health back, and then you'll be fine. Because if you die on hyper mode, this can take 10 to 15 minutes to get beat all 3 of these, and if you die at any point, you get the whole thing all over again.
Rip.
I know this, I happened to be twice.
Yeah, because there are. Well, I could be wrong. Is there a checkpoint before the Dark Samus fight, or do you have to start all the way over at the gunship again?
You start at the Dark Samus.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
You do all. These bosses can take a while in hyper mode because they have twice the health.
Yeah, but if you get a check, I don't think that's too bad. Because like in Prime 1 and 2, there are no checkpoints. If you die, you're going back to the last save.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of checkpoints. I feel like a game should always have them, and maybe with the option to turn them off if you really don't want them,
I agree. I think that should be on like the default difficulty setting, and then maybe on like the ultra hard mode, you like remove checkpoints too. So Roy Boy says, I'd have added a final phase revealing the Sanctum in an enormous Leviathan. You have to kill Dark Samus before it reaches the surface and leaves phase for a new planet. That would be pretty cool.
I like it.
I also think the way Samus defeats Dark Samus is pretty anticlimactic, because if you think about it, like, she defeats Dark Samus in the last game on an interdimensional exploding planet, and that wasn't enough to kill her, but this time it's like, oh, you shot at her enough, so this time she's dead for real this time. It's like, I don't know if I'm convinced about that. I think a way you could solve that, and a really cool thematic tie back to Prime 1, is if Samus uses the Hyper Grapple to literally absorb Dark Samus back in her, just like Dark Samus, or Metroid Prime at the time, attempted to do to Samus at the end of that game. To me, I feel like that's the perfect finale.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, I really feel like we were robbed of a really good fight here with Dark Samus.
I mean, like the fight that you have is still like a quality fight. It's just it could have had a little extra sizzle.
Yeah, like they're both good boss fights in their own right. They're certainly not bad boss fights, but like it doesn't feel like the climactic finale of a trilogy fight.
Yeah.
Weird move.
Unfortunately, like most of the other enemies in the Metroid Prime games, we cannot leave the Aurora unit on red. They refuse, they will not let us. To Aurora unit go burr.
So is Dark Samus technically piloting a mecha? Oh, does.
Get in the robot.
And that is it.
There we go.
All right.
Samus lands on the ground. She just her head kind of just falls back. She's like, oh, what a day.
Oh man, what a victory! What a run! Great run.
Absolutely.
We have just barely enough time left over for the credit sequence to finish.
Well, we don't start Dread until about just
We got
under
like
30
25 minutes
now,
left.
So we got plenty of time. We're not just barely making it.
Yeah, no, Griff, you killed it, buddy.
Thank you. She'll surely keep those hazard shields for later.
Until those engineers make something else, I guess.
Definitely like Roy Boy's idea for the Dark Samus skeletal form transferring back to the core. I dig that. Because really, really the only hint we get towards that is the 100% cutscene and the similarities between the final Dark Samus form and Echoes, which has some similarities to the core. But that's really for the confirmation for us, the players. Samus herself doesn't really get that confirmation, or at least it's not hinted that she does. That could be like a really definitive way to like show that link to her at least.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, and good job, Griff. Yeah, again, like I wasn't sure if we were gonna make it, but yeah, you freaking nailed this.
Oh, we got time to spare.
There's
We got the Chadwell here. I mean, this is good stuff.
It was 100%, then that would have been a different story. But if I just beat the game, it's not. I knew we would be fine. Each planet was at about 2 hours, 2 hours, something like that. I think Elysia was the longest one though.
I mean, that sounds about right, I think.
Triple guy says, I want to know how the suit is restored to the various suit in the ending. The PED suit looks like stuff was cut away. Bird magic.
Well, if you've seen Samus's ship, her arm cannon is still in hyper mode, despite the fact that Phazon should be gone now.
Damage reports coming in. We've lost 37% of the fleet. Half of the surviving ships are reporting heavy casualties.
Sir, we've confirmed the wormhole has disappeared. All the Leviathans are gone. The crisis is over.
There he is. There's my boy.
Samus.
He's getting all these casualty reports, and he's like, "Where's Samus though?"
Yeah, cool casualties, whatever. But where's Samus though? Where's my homie at? Adam would never.
Yeah. It seemed pretty cool in the manga, and then other Evi's just like the opposite of that. I don't get it.
Receiving a transmission from Samus's ship.
Kind of makes you wonder what he's doing anyway. Twinkle.
Yeah. Mission complete.
I know you all have ranked the overall title themes, but where would you rank this theme song across of the Metroid theme song themes?
What are we at right now? The credits? I don't know where I'd rank it. I definitely... again, this is another instance where I didn't like it when I first played Corruption, but it's definitely grown on me over time, and I've learned to really appreciate it in the years since.
I think it wraps things up nicely.
With the death of the planet Phase, Samus Aran's arduous fight against Phazon has ended. However,
Samus can now send the Federation her bill. Quite expensive endeavors. Payable within 30 decacycles.
spreading the light of hope through the darkness.
Isn't a decacycle supposed to be like 10 years?
It's a long time.
If Prime 4 ends up dealing in time travel in some regard, and actually, do you expect Phazon anyway to come back, or do you think it's purely gone for good?
I hope
think
it's
Phazon's
gone for good. And I think it should be. Like, I think it's time for something new.
I mean, Tanabe said that in one of the interviews where he's just like, Phazon, Dark Samus, they're over and they're gone now. So I'm just like, good. Many people just bring it back for some reason. Now, I think Metroid, for the most part, is pretty good at like bringing back things, whether it be enemies or songs, when it makes sense, not just because, oh look, jingle keys, like Other M did.
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot Troy Baker is in this game. He's that one Federation trooper, the Horus Rebellion trooper.
he's in every game.
And of course, Chris Sabat Vegeta as Rundus. Rest in peace, Satoru Iwata. Risa Tabata also does not get enough love for this trilogy. Like, she's played an incredible role in bringing the trilogy to life. Tanabe-san rightfully gets a lot of credit, you know, as the producer, but like Tabata also has done like so much work, and has had pivotal input, and I believe she's still heavily involved with 4 as well.
I did a brief skim of the people that were hired to work on Prime 4, and I was like, this is an all-star team. What the heck?
Yeah, like they're gonna cook with Prime 4. I am confident in Retro.
People will beat Prime 4. It's like, where's Prime 5, Retro?
This isn't Metroid 6.
Here's a claim of sorts. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if in the first year of Switch 2 being out, they at least announced Metroid 6. Considering Metroid Dread is 4 years in development, or 4 years away at this point. On top of that, I wouldn't be if the Switch 2's lifespan lasts about as long as Switch 2 does, I wouldn't be surprised if we've got another Prime and 2D game at some point before the Switch 2's life cycle ends.
Yeah, I am quite, I don't want to say confident, but like I'm feeling pretty good about Metroid 6 getting announced by 2026 at the very least.
Metroid 6 2026.
I think Metroid 6 comes out in 2026, so like that, it's not impossible that it gets announced this year. I'd probably say it gets announced next year and releases next year, but I think we're going to be playing Metroid 6 soon.
That would be fantastic.
All right, good job, Griff. We unlocked hyper mode. Time for that hyper mode playthrough. Let's go.
I already did that. I'm okay. The only real hard part I found with hyper mode was the final bosses, because they are very tanky. Goodness.
Torvis says Phazon could maybe exist in the past versions of planets you visit, but immediately get destroyed in the present.
They're like maybe
that could be interesting.
Like, maybe you could have like a side quest boss or something be Phazon related just for this one area, and then that's it, because like the Phazon is chaotic nature, time hoopla. It's like, okay, fine, this one thing, but now it's actually gone for good. Maybe they could do that, and I'd be like, okay, I'll accept that.
It's just like a small nod. Yeah.
Well, another 15 minutes. I guess one more prediction question of sorts. If in the first year of Switch 2's life, would you be surprised if Nintendo at least announces Smash Bros. 6? Or PAS Ultimate or whatever?
In the first year, you said?
Like in the first year, they at least announced that it is eventually going to come out.
That's tough because historically the answer should be yes, but I'm not so sure this time. Which is weird because Smash Ultimate did come out at the beginning of the Switch's life cycle, but I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna say no. I think for the first time we're gonna see Smash coming out in the second half of the Switch's life cycle, which we are going to get Smash.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're gonna do with Smash? But there's 0% chance that they are going to just abandon Smash. Like that's one of the best-selling games on the Switch, and by far the best-selling Smash of all time.
I feel like we should say, and correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, I think technically speaking, like the Smash also came out on the latter half of both the 3DS and the Wii U's life cycle too, right? So it's not like it always has to be right at the beginning.
So it came out 2 years into the. To be fair, the Wii U's life cycle was cut short, so it was at about the halfway point technically. Maybe just a little bit before that, because I think the last Wii U year was 2016. And then it came out in 2012, so yeah, Smash was in that halfway point, like 2014.
If Nintendo wanted to get people,
that was more like a fluke console, though, you know.
If Nintendo wanted people to buy their new Switch 2 console, a Smash Brothers game is a pretty good way to do that.
That's true.
I guess I'm just wondering if Nintendo is still trying to figure out what to do with Smash, because like, I don't know, it's a tough decision. Like, what do you do after?
I know there was some.
Do after Ultimate?
I know there was some.
I feel like it's not really that tough. You put in some new characters, you get rid of some of the fluff characters that are there. You make some new stages, and I mean, there you go.
Yeah, there is an idea I've heard of where it's just obviously some fighters need to return, but everything else just kind of like make a bunch of new stuff and not spend so much time remaking all the old stuff again. I wonder how much time. I wonder how much time making a new Smash game it takes to remake all the stages, redo all the characters, and everything that returns. Like music might not be that big a deal. Well, I don't know. You could. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like you kind of got to go all or nothing. Like, you either bring everyone back or you completely like start from square one again and like redo everything from scratch if you're gonna make those cuts and like you make significant cuts, but you also make significant gains at the same time, if that makes sense. You either do that or you just build off of Ultimate.
Yeah. Like the only Smash.
We got like 10 minutes here before our next game, and one thing that I should mention to everybody is we found this out the hard way yesterday, but YouTube will only archive 12 hours of live stream footage here. So we're actually going to be starting Metroid Dread pretty quickly, but it's going to be on a different link. So each day is going to have 2 different links. That's really the only way that we could do this. So just look out for our channel. Make sure that you're clicking on it when you see it. We'll still be live. It should pop up, I'm assuming, for everybody there. But just do want to let everybody know that Dread is going to be starting soon, and it will be, like I said, on a different link. Because as much as we tried to avoid that, it's probably our best solution going forward. I'm excited for Metroid Dread here, guys. I think this is going to be like awesome.
This is going to be an absolutely insane run. I'm so excited for this.
Is it going to go really good or really bad?
I am going to make sure that it goes really bad for these players. I'll tell you that. He won't hear me unless you need to hear me, in which case I'm probably doing something nefarious. So yeah, that's going to be a blast.
No, wait. I sent you the wrong link, Andy. One moment.
Wait a minute. There's one thing I can do.
There we go.
Wunderbar. All right, so we're just getting set up here, guys. So bear with us a few minutes as we get everything here.
While you're waiting.
Yeah, I've got some ideas here because these guys were just like, oh yeah, like I didn't even die 99 times my last Dread through playthrough, and I was like, what? I feel like I died 99 times in Arteria, and I've got some tricks up my sleeve if they're too good, which they very well might be, because I mean we saw Game Worm last night play AM2R, like it was absolutely nothing, and Doom is no slouch either. I think he is going to be very, very competitive tomorrow in that zero mission race. Much more competitive than I'm probably going to be.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going into this to have fun. You know me, Andy. I'm not the promo guy. That's all you. So I don't like to put together the hype promos and the call outs and anything like that. I'm just like, hey, like let's just go at it and have fun, but may the best person win, you know?
That's kind of my thing. Like I'm if I was a wrestler, I'd probably be like an average wrestler, but like really good at cutting a promo. You know, so
yeah. I definitely, if I did need to cut a promo, I would definitely hire you. You are the promo man.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a skill that's been fine-tuned over time. So I mean, anybody can get there, you know. But yeah, so I mean, I'll tell you what here, guys. Like I think we're about to start in 8 minutes. We have a couple minutes of setup here to do. Why don't we end this stream in a minute or two here? We'll start a new stream. So everybody don't go anywhere. Like I said, we are going to have you go to a new link just to make sure that YouTube archives this properly. So I apologize to everyone there. Just if you don't mind, hop over to the new link and we'll get started on Metroid Dread pretty quickly.
Going off these dioramas here, I have a soft fondness for this one here. It's like, oh, Samus, our glorious queen. I don't know what he's got in his hand here, though.
Yeah, I love the dioramas.
Kind of like the Gollum guy in the back. He's just like, kind of reminds me of the Goombas from the Mario Bros movies, or from the Mario Bros movie. Great comparison too, if anyone is wondering.
I was about to say, I see it and I don't like it. And actually, Andy, let me turn on my Switch, make sure that my audio is coming through.
I haven't set you up here yet, Doom. So give me 1 sec.
No worries.
All right. Well, good luck with your Dread run. I will be watching. I just got to take off though. So.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by while you could, Lilith. We had a blast.
Yeah, thank you. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, I will see you tomorrow. That's good.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Seems some of this concept art looks amazing. You know, some of it it's just like, yeah, they translated that 1-to-1 in the game, but then there's some things like with the Federation, I guess, where it's just like that could have been cool to see. There's so many times where someone like I see concept art and I'm like, this is way better than what we got. But the Prime series is like, nah, this is 1-to-1.
Okay, you just burst into light. Your suit just disappeared, flashed.
Okay.
Tell me when SQ comes on the screen.
Okay. Boom. Oh.
Alright. Everyone's still getting set up for Metroid Dread. So I am going to close this stream now, and they're going to set up another one for Metroid Dread, since it's now approaching 6 o'clock. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you had a good time, learned something new, and hope you enjoy the Metroid Dread Mode race. Like I said, it's either going to be really good or really bad.